From Grady's Field in Xenia, Ohio, it is game number 17 as the Scouts take on the defending champion Hamilton Joes. Andrew Alix here alongside Gabe Genovesi. We are happy to have you aboard with us tonight. For the Scouts, it was an extremely difficult game in last night's contest, a 23-8 loss at the hands of their division rivals, the Richmond Jazz. But the Scouts are back in action here, and they will send John Kopicki to the mound to try to get this season back on track. And Gabe, what do we have on John Kopicki so far this season?
Kopicki thus far this season, his third appearance tonight. He's appeared in 2 games thus far for the Scouts. 13 2/3 innings pitched. He's given up 16 hits, 11 runs, 10 of them earned, 8 walks, 13 strikeouts for John Kopicki, and he is 1-0 on the year, a 6.58 ERA.
I'll give you the starting lineup here for the Xenia Scouts. Batting first and playing shortstop, Ben Beachy. Batting second, the designated hitter will be Ryan Park. Aaron Takis batting third and playing third. The catcher in the cleanup spot, Mr. Chris Ackerman. Donald Ring taking on a new role over at first base. He'll be batting fifth. Caden Owens back in the lineup after a little stint out with an injury. He will be playing right field and batting sixth tonight. Ange Bourgeois is playing second and batting seventh. Dylan Lottenville in left, batting eighth, and in the ninth spot, the center fielder, Mr. Francisco Andina. So as the Scouts out there in the field, John Kopicki warming up here, and he will face the Hamilton Joes for the second time this season. Kopicki, the winning pitcher in the Scouts win over Hamilton. The final score of that one was 14-7. Kopicki went 4 innings in that one. But the leadoff man coming to the plate, it is Ryan Zeals, the second baseman from Miami University Hamilton. And John Kopicki looks to the catcher, Chris. This ball game is hit on the ground, foul territory, third base side, so 0-1. The count to start things off here. Ryan Zeals, the top hitter in the lineup for the Joes tonight. Zeals, a .341 hitter, 4 doubles, 8 RBIs. 0-1 to count here. Top of the first between the Joes and the Scouts. The 0-1, and that one swung on and missed there. The count moves 0-2. John Kopicki will pound the zone. Big fastball. Can get some Ks. Ahead in the count, 0-2 here on Ryan Zeals. The 0-2 pitch. That one on the outside in the dirt. Ryan Zeals is 0 for 1 on the season against John Kopicki. He has drawn a walk. Zeals, the hot hitter in the Hamilton lineup as of late. He is 7 for his last 15. That's with 4 RBIs. The 1-2 pitch. That one taken just off the outside, evens up the count 2-2. It's Ryan Zeals, Eric Santiago, and Evan Bell for the Joes here in the top of the first. The 2-2. And that one bouncing in the dirt goes to the backstop, and the count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to the leadoff man, Ryan Zeals. So time is called here. Around the diamond, it's Donald Ring at first, Ange Bourgeois at second, Ben Beachy at short, Aaron Takis at third. Lottenville in left, Andina in center, Caden Owens in right, and behind the dish, Mr. Chris Ackerman. And the 3-2 pitch coming now from John Kopicki, and that one's hit over towards third. One hop, Aaron Takis takes it, throws over to first, and the throw is high. Safe at first is going to be Ryan Zeals. The throw actually going out of play there. So an extra 90 feet will be awarded as well. And just like that, what looked like an easy ground out over towards third ends up being a runner in scoring position with nobody out to lead off the game for the Hamilton Joes.
And you hate to see that early here for the Scouts. Kopicki gets the ground ball he was looking for, and Takis, who's played good defensively the past few games, just overthrew Ring over there at first. There's one on with nobody out.
So Eric Santiago to the plate. First pitch low and away. Ball number 1. 1 ball and no strikes here. Santiago at .282 hitter, 1 double, 8 RBIs. Kopicki looks to the catcher, Chris Ackerman. The pitch. And that one grounded over towards third. Backhanded by Takis. The throw to first this time's in time. The runner tries to advance to third, but he'll get there safely before the throw can get there. Mark it down as a 5-3 ground out. One away, but the first run of this ball game for the Hamilton Joes stands at third.
And a good play by Takis that time to get there quickly on a ground ball hard down the line. And he couldn't do anything about Zeals moving to third there. Good play.
So now with a runner at third and one away here in the top of the first, the batter is Evan Bell from the University of Memphis. Bell, a 174 hitter on the year. First pitch curveball take it all the way. Finds the zone for a called strike. Bell. He bats from the right side against the right-handed pitcher, John Kopicki. Ryan Zeals stands at third. And that one's hit in the air. Foul territory and going to go out of play. So 0-2. Once again, John Kopicki ahead in the count. He was ahead in the count against Ryan Zeals. The 0-2 pitch. And that one is hit on the ground, fair territory, and John Kopicki's going to let it roll foul. A good job there by Kopicki. That ball hit with a lot of spin down the first base line, and Kopicki got there to cover, but with the runner at third, he knew that his best interest was going to be to let that ball take as much time as it needed to go foul. It does just that, and the count's going to stay at 0-2.
Good play by Kopicki there. A smart play by the pitcher. Letting that ball roll foul. A run definitely would have scored.
0-2 again here. Here's the pitch. A big curveball upstairs. The count moves 1-2 strikes. Evan Bell from Oak Park, Illinois, did not play with the Memphis Tigers. He has actually faced John Kopicki before. In that last contest between these two teams, he was 0-2 against the righty Kopicki. The 1-2 pitch, check swing, did he go? They're going to say he held off, and that ball way on the outside evens up the count 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. Kopicki taking his time here. And against Evan Bell, the pitch, and that one just missing on the outside corner. So the count's going to go full. 3-2 strikes here with one out in the top of the first. A runner at third for the Hamilton Joes. The 3-2 pitch. And that one hit back at Kopicki. He's going to cover the mound. He's going to throw to first. The run will score. Donald Ring scoops the throw out of the dirt for out number 2, but just like that on the ground out, the first run comes home, and the Hamilton Joes lead 1-0.
And Kopicki made the good play on the mound there. That ball, very unfortunately for the Scouts, bounced way high in the air. It was almost like a squeeze bunt, a perfect squeeze bunt that the runner from third, Ryan Zeals, could score, and Kopicki barely had the ball in his glove.
So mark that down as a 1-3. 1-0 Joes here. 2 away. In the top of the first, the batter is Nigel Williams. Williams takes on the outside, ball 1. Williams, the designated hitter tonight from Lake Erie College. A .282 hitter on the year with a double and 8 RBIs. One to 0 the count now. The pitch. And that one hit foul. Third base side, going to even up the count. A ball and a strike. When you think about Donald Ring over at first, not the regular position that the Donald's going to play, a catcher by trade, but with a little bit of a playing behind the plate, really not an option as that ball is hit up the middle on the ground into center field, a base hit. So the first hit of the game off of Kopicki. The runner who ended up scoring, Ryan Zeals, actually reached on an error on the throw from Aaron Takis. So now a runner at first and 2 away here. Ryan Crockett going to the Rocket from Sanford, the first baseman tonight. He's 091 on the year. One double, 3 RBIs for the first baseman from Sanford. First pitch, And that one's up and in, ball number 1. The run that was scored by Ryan Zeals will not be an earned run charged to John Kopicki because of the error. And if you're John Kopicki, not the start that you want. And the Scouts having to play from behind yet again. The 1-0 pitch upstairs, 2-0 now. Two balls and a strike here with 2 away. And that one missing, Ryan Crockett. Couple of at-bats against Kopicki. 0 for 1. Actually struck out, also walked. So 3 balls and a strike here, and Kopicki's going to have to give something to hit or walk him for the second time this season. And with the 3-0 pitch upstairs, he will do just that. So the first walk issued of the game by John Kopicki. And now it's Hamilton Joes at first and second here with 2 away in the top of the first. The Joes already leading this one by a score of 1-0. So a little bit of a meeting at the mound. Ange Bourgeois coming over from second. Chris Ackerman, the catcher, going to come in. It's Nigel Williams at second. Ryan Crockett at first here with 2 away. The batter, Luke Torino. Torino, the third baseman from the University of Cincinnati. A 162 hitter on the year, 1 double, 5 RBIs. First pitch inside part of the plate, taken for a called strike. How did we get here, folks? It was an error at third by Aaron Takis that allowed Ryan Zeals, the leadoff hitter, to get to second. He advanced on a 5-3 ground out by Eric Santiago. Then back the pitch was followed by a single and a 0-1 pitch fouled down the first base line, and John Kopicki ahead in this count, 0-2.
And a good job by Kopicki to get ahead here. Try to get yourself a strikeout and get out of this inning.
No balls and 2 strikes here with 2 away. Runners at first and second. In the top of the first, the Hamilton Joes lead 1-0. The righty Kopicki against the left side hitting Luke Torino. The 0-2 pitch. And that one in the dirt. And actually, they're going to say that got the leg of Luke Torino. So on 0-2, John Kopicki hits Luke Torino with the pitch, and now the bases are loaded.
And on an 0-2 pitch especially, that kills.
And for the Scouts, who are depleted in the bullpen, all these excess pitches by John Kopicki are by no means good news in just his first inning of work. But now with the bases loaded, the batter is going to be Trey Turner. Turner from Arizona State University has faced Kopicki 3 times as he takes first pitch upstairs, ball 1. Turner 1 for 3 against Kopicki with a strikeout, 3 for 10 against the Scouts overall, and not incredibly good news for the Scouts, the 3 for 10 numbers, because Turner only 4 hits on the season thus far. It looks like pitching coach Corey Coob's going to come out to the mound and have a word with John Kopicki. It was easy breezy, drawing 3 groundouts, but with the error extending the inning, followed by a single, a walk, and a hit by pitch. The Joes already with a 1-0 lead, and Kopicki can get out of this inning with limited damage by retiring the batter Trey Turner here, but with 2 outs and the base is loaded, anything in the gap going to score a couple. So a whole range of possibilities to see how John Kopicki's night is going to get going here. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Trey Turner. He hits from the right side against the right-handed pitcher Kopicki. 1-0. And that one on the outside. Throw over to first from Chris Ackerman. A good idea there by Ackerman, but just not quick enough. The runner at first, Luke Torino, gets back in time, and the count 2 balls and no strikes now to Trey Turner. The 2-0 pitch. That one fastball taken all the way, finds the zone. A called strike 1. Turner, the native of Slidell, Louisiana. A two-sport athlete at Arizona State University. If that's not impressive, I don't know what is. 2-1, fouled straight back. Turner just missing that one. But even 2 strikes, John Kapicki 1 pitch away from getting this out of this inning with just 1 run of damage. 2 balls and 2 strikes here. The bases are juiced. Kapicki looks to the catcher, Ackerman. He has what he wants. The 2-2 pitch. Strike 3. John Kapicki's first strikeout of the day, and it couldn't come at a big 1 run on 1 hit, 1 error, and 3 men left aboard for the Hamilton Joes in the top of the first. We are in the middle of the first. The Joes lead the Scouts by a score of 1-0. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. The bottom of the first inning here, folks. The Joes take a 1-0 lead off of an error in the top of the first, but John Kapicki ends up getting himself into a little trouble. Bases loaded with 2 outs, but a strikeout leaves the damage at 1. So the Scouts coming into the plate. They're going to face off against Frank Dixon. And what do we have on Dixon as Ben Beachy takes a pitch way on the outside. Ball 1 gets past the glove of the catcher.
Dixon, 8 1/3 innings pitched in 3 appearances, 5 hits given up, 6 earned runs, 8 walks, 4 strikeouts, an ERA of 6.48 in opponent's bat, 200 against Dixon.
The 1-0 pitch to Ben Beachy way on the outside, so 2 balls and no strikes. Ben Beachy, a 300 hitter on the year, 5 doubles, 1 home run, 13 RBIs. 2-0 on the outside, 3-0 now, and Frank Dixon has struggled to find the zone thus far. Working quickly now, the 3-0 pitch, and that one just finds the zone, a close one on the upper outside part of the zone, I assume. 3 balls and 1 strike now, the count to Ben Beachy. And Beachy swung on and missed there. The count goes full, 3-2. Dixon, of course, it's fair to mention that he is a southpaw. He pitches from the left side. The 3-2 pitch, and Beachy hits that one in the air, right field. That's going to drop at the warning track and bounce over the wall. A ground rule double for Ben Beachy, his 6th double of the year. And just as the Hamilton Joes in the inning before, the Scouts start things off with the leadoff man in scoring position and nobody out.
And good work by Ben Beachy to take that one the other way. An outside pitch, he took it to right field. That ball 1 hops the wall. And I don't think Beachy would have been able to get to third. I think it would have been a double either way. So a good piece by Beachy.
So now it's Ryan Park to the plate. Park, a 340 hitter on the year. He takes first pitch low and away. And to talk about the work that Ryan Park has done in these past couple of games. He has reached base in 14 of his last 21 plate appearances. That is 2/3 of the time, folks. 1-0 pitch comes low and in, 2-0 now the count. Park, 340 batting average, 4 doubles, 14 walks. His 508 on base percentage, 6th in the Great Lakes. He bats from the right side here against the lefty. The 2-0 pitch up and away. 3 balls and no strikes to Ryan Park, who looks to continue here his streak of just finding a way to get on any way he can. The 3-0. Up and away, ball 4. So Ryan Park's on base percentage going to get a little bit better and make it better than 2/3 of the time on base. In his last 22 plate appearances now, Park draws the walk, and now it's runners at second and third, or first and second, I should say, and nobody out to start off the game for the Scouts here.
And let's see if Aaron Tyler base hit the 2 RBI single in the last game. Let's see if he can do it again here.
So Aaron Takis to the plate, a .235 hitter with 5 RBIs on the air, 6 walks, 6 strikeouts. Takis from Corinne University, he shows bunting that one in the air, and that's actually going to hit the top deck of the little overhang that we have here at Grady's Field in Xenia. So a failed bunt attempt there for Takis, 0-1 the count. Aaron has been since he's gotten back here after having to sit out a couple of days with, I believe it was a hamstring
injury.
The 0-1 pitch. And Takis hits that hard but foul out of play on the left side. Takis just drills it over the rolling hills and left. But quickly finds himself behind in this count, now 0-2. It's Beachy at second, Ryan the Scouts in the bottom. They already trailed this game 1-0. The 0-2 pitch, and that one way on the outside, and it's going to get past the glove of the catcher. Beachy and Park both advance 90 feet, and the Scouts are now with 2 runners in scoring position. And if you're Aaron Takis, the approach maybe changes into the outfield. Any kind of fly ball is going to bring home Ben Beachy. A ball and 2 strikes the count. Takis hits from the left side against the southpaw, Frank Dixon. The 1-2 pitch. And Takis hits that on the ground, but just goes foul about 6 inches to the left of the third base bag, and the count's going to stay at 1-2.
That was a good job by Takis. An inside pitch, he kind of went inside out there, took it the other way, and as you mentioned, that ball was about half a foot from being fair.
So 1-2 coming here again. Pitch to Takis. Oh, strike 3. Does not strike out a lot. Goes down swinging his first at-bat of the game. And now it's runners at second and third and 1 out now for Chris Ackerman. Chris Ackerman put on an absolute display in yesterday's contest. 3 for 4 at the plate. His first home run of the year over the left field wall. Ackerman, first in the league in walks per plate appearance. So basically the batting average version of walk. First pitched ball, upper outside part of the zone, a called strike 1. Ackerman against the Joes in the only game he played against Hamilton. 0 for 2, did draw 3 walks. Part of the 15 walks that Ackerman has drawn all year. That's a team high for the Scouts. But he waves and misses at the 0-1. He finds himself behind in this count, 0-2. Ack, a .273 hitter on the year, 1 double, 1 home run, and 4 RBIs. He hits from the right side here against the southpaw. 0-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Outside. A ball and 2 strikes moves the count. Ackerman, the catcher from Hillsdale College, hit just a .191 with the Chargers this past spring. The 1-2. Way on the outside again. The count moves 2-2. Frank Dixon has shown that he have control in a couple of situations already so far in this game. Curveball missing on the outside, and the count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Chris Ackerman. Out Ryan Park with the on-base percentage. He's 6th in the league in on-base percentage, 5th in the league in walks. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. It's runners at second and third with 1 away here in the home half. The Scouts trail 1-0. The pitch, and that one way on the outside, ball 4. Chris Ackerman just continues to draw walks. And the Scouts have the bases loaded and nobody out for their hottest hitter right now. That's Donald Ring.
Ring comes up, reached base all 5 times yesterday, 4 hits. And we'll see if he can come through with another hit here right now. Anything deep to the outfield would score a run, so he doesn't even necessarily need a hit. Just avoid the double play ball.
So Donald Ring to the plate. He bats from the left side against the southpaw Frank Dixon. Ring, 269 hitter on the year, 1 home run, 2 RBIs. First pitch to Ring, fouled straight back. The count moves 0-1 to Donald Ring. Donald playing first base tonight. Normally a catcher. Unfortunately, unable to catch because of a hamstring injury. The 0-1 pitch, and Ring fouls that straight back yet again. The count moves 0-2. Donald with the Hillsdale Chargers this year. We'll say the stat once, we'll say it 1,000 times. 17 home runs, setting a school record this past spring. He's behind in this count, 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. And that one's hit on the ground towards second. The throw is going to be to first. Donald Ring is out, but Ben Beachy comes home to score, and the Scouts have tied this game up at 1.
Thankfully, that was a slow roller from Ring, not a double play ball, as the runner on first, Ackerman, was able to get to second quickly. And we're tied at 1 here. 1 hit now. And 1 ball.
And Caden Owens back in the lineup. Owens a hitter. 2 RBIs so far this year. And he hits one on the ground. Fair territory, first base side. The first baseman can't cover the bag. Caden Owens beats out the throw. Ryan Park comes home to score. An infield hit about his speed there. Owens flexing it. And not the ideal RBI single, but it counts. Ryan Park comes home to score. 2-1 Scouts now. And they're still going here for Ange Bourgeois. It's Chris Ackerman at third and Caden Owens at first.
And I really don't know what the first baseman, Ryan Crockett, was thinking. He was waiting for the pitcher to get over.
First pitch, foul ball down the third base line.
He was waiting for the pitcher, Dixon, to get over and obviously flipped it to him. But Dixon wasn't going to get to the first bag quick enough. Crockett at first fielded that ball cleanly. He could have stepped on before Owens got there, but luckily for the Scouts, he didn't, and it's a 2-1 game.
A 1 curveball to Ange Bourgeois, missing on the outside. A ball and strike the count here. Still just on 2 away here. Runners at first and third. Pitch. And Bourgeois hits that one hard into left field past the glove of the diving third baseman, Luke Torino. Chris Ackerman comes home, an RBI single from Ange Bourgeois. We didn't even get to mention his on-base streak. He's been on base in all 13 games he's played coming into the game. Make it 14, Gabe.
And I was talking to him about it before the game. I asked him if he even knew about it. He said, yeah, someone did tell me a couple days ago, but, dude, I'm just trying to do whatever I can to help the team. I don't really think about it. And then he paused for a second, and he was like, hey, it's all about Moneyball, right?
That's what I believe I may have been the one to break the news. And Ange Bourgeois, a superstitious guy, was a little bit worried about the curse of the commentator there, but nothing has happened yet. And the Scouts with an early 3-1 lead here in the bottom of the first. And Gabe, doesn't that sound good in your ears?
Oh, very, very good. Let's hope, obviously still really early in this game, the offense can keep it up. offense really, honestly, was decently good last night as well. 8 runs on, I believe, as I look back 8 runs on 13 hits. It was just the Jazz couldn't stop hitting last night.
So now it's Dylan Lottonville to the plate. Runners at first and second, and 2 outs. First pitch to Lottonville, fouled back, 0-1 the count. How did we get here? Ben Beachy doubled, Ryan Park walked, Aaron Takis then struck out, Chris Ackerman walked, and then it was a ground out from Donald Ring that scored the first. Caden Owens' infield single scored the second. And then Ange Bourgeois absolutely rips one down the third base line to score one more. So runners at first and second here with 2 away for Lottonville. The 0-1 pitch, big swing and a miss there from Dylan. The count moves 0-2. Lottonville on the year, an 0.95 hitter. Has struggled mightily thus far, but we've seen guys like Donald Ring who struggled break out of their slumps in a big way, and Lottonville, who's been so close on so many different occasions, just looking for that big game to break it out. Behind in the count, 0-2, however, with 2 away now. Lottonville has walked 10 times this year, so his on-base percentage stands at .283. Dixon looks back to second, and he steps off. Caden Owens over. Seems to be giving him a little bit of trouble. Lottonville bats from the right side. Against the southpaw, Frank Dixon. The 0-2 pitch. And that one in the dirt. The runners are going to both attempt to advance, and they will do so without a throw. The ball just getting past the glove of the catcher, James Wick. After it bounced in the dirt, didn't go very far, but Caden Owens and Ange Bourgeois advance into scoring position. It's runners at second and third and a 1-2 count. The pitch. That one on the outside evens up the count, 2-2. Lottonville, the native of Bellevue, Washington. The Pacific Northwest may seem like a world away. Here from beautiful Xenia, Ohio. The 2-2 pitch. Upstairs and outside, the count goes full. Good job by Lottonville here to work the count after falling behind 0-2. Bourgeois at second, Owens at third. 3 balls and 2 strikes, but 2 away. The full count pitch, upstairs and outside, ball 4. So Dylan Lottonville goes behind in the count, 0-2, but shows off the plate discipline. Trying the walk. And the bases are loaded now for Francisco Andina. Andina, the 9-man in the Xenia Scouts batting order, so they will have batted all the way through in this first inning. Frankie, a 191 hitter on the year. He shows bunt, but pulls back. Pitch was way up and way in. Andina has to get out of the way. 1 ball and no strikes the count. We talk about guys that can draw walks on this Xenia Scouts ball club. Francisco Andina is certainly one of them. 13 walks on the year. That's a .367 on-base percentage for Andina, who's batting just 191, but 2 doubles, 2 RBIs, and they have come in big spots for the Scouts so far this season. The 1-0 pitch. That one does find the zone, a called strike, evens up the count 1-1. Andina, the center fielder from Spring Arbor College. Stands at 5'8". He's listed as 5'8", might actually be shorter than 5'8". A hard strike zone for a wild pitcher to find, as the 1-1 pitch low and away actually brings the glove off of the catcher, James Wick. He dropped his glove there, but the runner's not going to advance as it didn't go very far. The count 2-1 now with 2 away. Owens at third, Bourgeois at second, Dylan Lottonville at first. The 2-1 pitch, and that one's hit on the ground towards first, but the first baseman Crockett has it, steps on first for out number 3. But 3 runs on 3 hits and 3 men left aboard for the Scouts in the home half of the first. We have played 1 inning of baseball here at Grady's Field. The Scouts lead the Hamilton Joes by a score of 3-1. Don't go anywhere, folks. We have plenty of baseball left to play. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. What's his name? James Wick.
Yeah. What number is he?
The top of the second inning, James Wick to lead things off. He attacks first pitch, chopper over towards short. Beachy comes in, throws over to first in time. Out number one. So James Wick out on one pitch, and that's got to be a good sign here for John Kopicki, who had his inning extended a little bit in the top of the first. The score is 3-1 in favor of the Scouts here. So now Riley Dent to the plate. Dent, the center fielder from Valparaiso. He takes first pitch fastball inside part of the plate. A called strike one. The 9-man in this order. Dent, a .256 hitter, 1 double, 2 RBIs on the year. He bats from the left side against the righty Kopicki, and change up there. Swung on and missed. Way ahead of it was Riley Dent, and John Kopicki ahead in this count, 0-2. Kopicki looks to Ackerman. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And that one bouncing in the dirt. The count moves 1-2. Riley Dent awaits the 1-2 pitch. And that one comes way on the inside. The count moves 2-2. Dent, the native of Long Beach, California. You may know Long Beach is the home of the famous rapper Snoop Dogg.
I love the way you said that. Snoop Dogg.
The 2-2 pitch. And that one's high. The count moves full 3 balls and 2 strikes with one away here in the top of the second. The Scouts lead by a score of 3-1. And Dent, actually one of the most successful hitters in this Hamilton lineup against John Kopicki last time these two teams faced off. A 2-for-3 night against the right-hander Kopicki. 3-2 pitch, and that one's hit on the ground towards third. A hard hit ball. Takas throws over to first in time. Out number 2. So the first 2 batters to the plate for the Hamilton Joes here out on ground outs, and 2 away now, and back to the top of the order for Hamilton with Ryan Zeals. Zeals, his first time to the plate, reached on an error by the third baseman Aaron Takas. Zeals, the second baseman from Miami, Hamilton, a .341 hitter on the year, and he attacks first pitch in the air, foul territory fair territory in right field. Ange Bourgeois tracks a lot of ground to get there, and he makes the grab for out number 3. So a 1-2-3 top of the second inning for John Kopicki. No runs on no hits and nobody left aboard for the Hamilton Joes. We have reached the middle of the second inning. The score 3-1 in favor of the Xenia Scouts. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. bottom of the second inning, the Scouts lead 3-1. It's back to the top of the order with Ben Beachy. Beachy led off this ball game with a double, a ground rule double to right field. First pitch to Beachy. He fouls that one straight back. 0-1 the count. Beachy with 6 doubles on the year, 1 home run. Came into the game a 300 hitter. He has scored 12 runs so far this season for the Xenia Scouts. He bats from the right side against the lefty. The 0-1 pitch upstairs and outside, evens up the count 1-1. The 1-1 pitch to Beachy. And he hits that one in the air, foul territory, right field side, hard hit, but out of play. The count moves 1-2. Beachy, the shortstop from Otterbein College. Big curveball on 1-2. Up and away, evens up the count 2-2. It'll be Beachy, Park, and Aaron Takis due up. Curveball in there for a called strike. 3-2-2. Ben Beachy goes down looking. Frank Dixon has his second strikeout of the ball game, and 1 away here for the Xenia Scouts in the home half of the second. So now it's going to bring Ryan Park to the plate. Park, his first time to the plate, drew a walk, ended up coming around to score the second run of this game for the Scouts. That was, of course, just 1 inning ago, as we are only in the second inning. Park, a 340 hitter on the year, and he hits one hard in the air towards center. The center fielder's coming in, but he'll be, and that ball will be dropped, actually, by the shortstop, Santiago, and Ryan Park, who was hustling down the baseline, advances to second, and he is called out at second.
Argument, hesitation. Park thought he was safe and then started to jog off, and Bubba Cates said, no, stay there, and went to somewhat argue. Now Ross Yoder talking with the field umpire over at first now, and they're not going to change the call.
So now 2 away for Aaron Takis. First pitch, fastball in there for a called strike. That will be marked as an error.
Error, yep.
No, it won't. Oh, will it? No, they won't give us a hit. They haven't updated the scoreboard yet, so we don't know what the thought process of our official scorekeeper, Kyler Ludlow, is yet. But it will likely be marked as an error because the ball was simply dropped. It didn't look like that ball didn't get there in time. So that one fouled off by Takis. Curveball on the outside. The count moves 1-1, or 1-2, I should say, to Aaron Takis. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Here's the pitch, and big curveball. Chin music to Aaron Takis, evens up the count 2-2. Aaron from Corinne University, the native of Oviedo, Florida. And he swings and misses. A punch out there, and that's going to do it for the Scouts in the home half of the second. So in order, no runs on no hits and nobody left aboard for Xenia. We have played 2 innings of baseball. The Scouts trail this game by a score of, or leading this game by a score of 3-1. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball. We go to the top of the third inning here. Andrew Alix alongside Gabe lead the Hamilton Joes by a score of 3-1. John Kopicki out for his third inning of work. He'll face the 2-3-4 spot in the order. First pitch to Eric Santiago is outside ball number 1. Santiago, his first time up, grounded out over to Aaron Takis at third. And the 1-0 pitch hits him flat on the back. Got him right in the numbers. So the second now thrown by John Kopicki in this ball game. The Hamilton Joes had the leadoff man aboard.
And it's just been like two different sides of John Kopicki so far in this game. The first inning, we see him hit a batter, walk a batter, allow a couple, actually one hit, one reached on an error. Second inning, 1, 2, 3, good efficiency, hitting his spots. And now here in the third, he loses a little bit of control and hits Santiago.
First pitch to Bell, hard hit, third base. Aaron Takis tries the backhand, drops it, throws over to first, not in time. So Evan Bell beats out the hit there. Will be interesting to see if they rule it as a hit or an error. Likely to be an infield hit, you would think. No. Looks like they got it as an error. So the second error of the game by Aaron Takis, and his runners at first and second here with nobody out. For the Hamilton Joes, the batter is Nigel Williams. Williams notched the only hit of this game off of John Kopicki, his first time to the plate. He hits from the right side against the righty John Kopicki. Santiago at second, Evan Bell at first. As Kopicki looks back. Still nobody out here in the top of a third. Scouts lead by a score of 3-1. The pitch, bunt is shown, pitch way on the outside. Tremendous job there by Chris Ackerman to dive and get in front of it, prevent the pass ball in the advance.
I mean, that was an all-out, like, layout dive. He didn't just slide over. He dove. He was on his stomach when he got that ball. Good job by Ackerman.
So 1-0 the count. Be interesting to see if Williams shows bunt again. Pitch, he shows bunt, does not pull back. That one finds the zone anyway, evens up the count of ball and strike. Williams, the designated hitter from Lake Erie College. Lake Erie, a team that competed against Hillsdale this past year. Hillsdale getting the better of the Lake Erie Storm in both contests. One pitch. And that one bunted down the first base line, goes foul. So the bunt likely to be off here with 2 strikes, and Kopicki ahead in this count, trying to get the first out of this ball game. Not the ball game, but the inning. With runners in first at second, the double play is still very much intact as a possibility here. A hit by pitch and an error have gotten this inning going for the Hamilton Joes in the top of the third. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kopicki looks to Ackerman. The pitch, and that one's hit over towards second base. Bourgeois goes to second for 1. The throw to first for 2 is high, and Donald Ring jumps to get the ball, and he is taken out by the runner, and he is down. Ring grimacing in pain over at first base, and that does not look like that was very comfortable. Ring got up in the air, and from a high throw from the shortstop Ben Beachy, and was taken out. But
I will say very positive that Ring's on his feet right now.
It might have just knocked the wind out of it.
Or,
like, not to speculate, but.
And it wasn't like one of those things where you're fearing for like anything torn or anything.
No, it didn't look like he went down weird. He went down because the Nigel Williams was motoring down the first base line. Ring was in the air, and it just took out the legs. It was like one of those big hits that you see in football.
And he tells the athletic trainer, Zach Taw, that he's fine. But it was one of those things, like you said, mid-air, his back leg just got taken out because Williams, hit it as Ring tried to stay on the base, is what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
And he jumped because he was trying to keep his toes on the bag, was still right in the baseline, and he got taken out.
Well, that's exactly right, Gabe. Good way to describe it. So at the end of the day, Donald looks like he's smiling over there at first, and his runners at first and third, and one out following the fielder's choice. Ryan Crockett now to the plate. And pickoff attempt over to first, and that one's going to get past Donald Ring's glove. The runner at third is going to come home. Nigel Williams goes to second. Now he's advancing to third, and he'll actually hold up about halfway through the second base bag. No one covering the bag, so no threat to get him back there. But an error on the pickoff move. Don't know who the error will be charged on. The third error on the scout so far today, and the second run comes home. A 3-2 ball game here with one.
And that's just thus far today. Kopicki's only given up one hit. 3 errors have allowed these runs for the Joes, and it's not what you're looking for if you're a pitcher.
And a runner at second here, still with one out. The Joes threatening here with Ryan Crockett at the plate. Crockett, an 091 hitter on the year. He takes upstairs ball number 1. Crockett from Samford. That's a Division I program in the great state of Alabama. His first time to the plate drew a walk. Ended up getting stranded at second to end the first when John Kopicki left the bases loaded. 1-0 pitch, and that one comes way inside. Ball number 2. But like Gabe just said, for John Kopicki, who's only allowed 1 hit so far this game, it's just been a world of hiccups. A couple by him in the category of hit by pitch. But errors in the field have plagued the Scouts so far. 2-0 pitch way on the outside. The count moves 3-0. And John Kopicki either has to get this pitch across or walk Ryan Crockett for the second time this evening. 3 balls and no strikes with 1 out here. 3-2 the score in favor of the Xenia Scouts. A runner at second with 1 away. The 3-0 pitch, and that one is high, ball 4. So John Kopicki issues a 4-pitch walk after an error on the pickoff move. And it's runners at first and second here with 1 out for the Hamilton Joes and to Luke Torino.
The one good thing about that walk, if you're going to take a positive, is it opens up the double play ball. We'll see if Kopicki can get a ground ball here, get out of the inning.
Luke Torino, his first time up, he was hit by a pitch, the first of 2 hit-by-pitch victims against John Kopicki here. First pitch on the inside, and both runners will advance. Chris Ackerman, that ball got behind him. He pump fakes the throw over to third, but no throw. So Gabe's silver lining is no longer a thing. Both runners at 1 out. I think he was going to be hard pressed here with just a 1-run lead and 2 runners in scoring position. A ball and no strikes. That one swung on and missed. Evens up the count 1-1. Torino from the University of Cincinnati. A 162 hitter on the year, 1 double, 5 RBIs. Kopicki looks to Ackerman. He delivers. Swing and a miss again. Some high cheddar there from John Kopicki. He finds himself ahead in this count 1-2.
Curious to see what pitching coach Corey Koobs calls here. He's blown the fastball by him, and he's got him on an off-speed pitch. So he really can go to anything on this 1-2 pitch.
Here it comes. And that one's hit on the ground, but foul. A hard-hit foul ball down the first base line. The count will stay at 1-2.
Torino way ahead of a changeup there.
It's Nigel Williams at third. Ryan Crockett at second here for the Hamilton Joes. A ball and 2 strikes the count with 1 away here in the top of the third. The Scouts lead by a score of 3-2. The pitch from Kopicki swung on and missed, strike 3. A strikeout there from John Kopicki. His second of the ball game, his second out of the inning. And the man who was his first punch-out victim of the day, Trey Turner, will come to the plate here with runners at second and third and 2 away.
A huge strikeout for Kopicki. 1 out away from getting out of this inning, and a Scout still having a lead.
So Trey Turner went down swinging his first time up, a 154 hitter on the year. Coming into this contest, he takes first pitch upstairs and outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Turner now 1 for 4 against John Kopicki with 2 strikeouts. The 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss there. Kopicki fastball outside part plate. Blew it by him. The count evens up 1-1 now. Turner, the left fielder from Arizona State University, the native of the great state of Louisiana. He bats from the right side against the righty Kopicki. The 1-1 pitch. And that one fastball just low and on the outside. So the count moves 2-1. Kopicki still has yet to allow a hit in this inning. But a couple of errors, a hit by pitch, and a walk have found him in a precarious situation here in the top of the third. Curveball upstairs at the chin level of Trey Turner. And Turner finds himself in a very favorable 3-1 count with a couple of men in scoring position and 2 away. The 3-1 pitch, and that one's hit in the air towards left field. Going back is the left fielder, and that one will hit the wall and roll. 1 run comes home, 2 run comes home, and standing at second with an RBI double is Trey Turner. A 2 RBI double gives the Hamilton Joes a 4-3 lead here in the third game.
Trey Turner, who only had 1 double all year, came in today 4 for 26. Roped that one, something he's been looking for all year.
And he just knew that Kopicki had to give him something to hit on 3-1. And he was sitting there and absolutely crushed that one. Off the bat, looked like it really had a chance of leaving the yard, but just didn't have enough on it. Hits the wall on the fly. 2 runs come home, and now with James Wick to the plate and a runner at second, the Joes have a lead and a chance to keep extending it here. First pitch high. 1 ball and no strikes now.
And the one thing I will say is I wish I would have paid attention to where Ackerman was set up there. But Kopicki's pitch was high at about chin level, and Turner roped it. And that's been the theme here in the first couple innings. The Joes are hitting pitches high in the zone. Ackerman is low there. Kopicki left it up a little down the middle, a swing and a miss. But Kopicki has to avoid balls chest high or up because these Joes hitters are making him pay early.
And that's exactly right, Gabe. So 4-3 Joes now. A ball and a strike with 2 away. Kopicki looks back to Turner at second. The pitch, and that one's fouled hard down the first base line. So John's ahead in this count, a ball and 2 strikes. The batter, James Wick, playing in his first game with the Hamilton Joes. He's behind the dish tonight. His first time to the plate, a ground out over to Ben Beachy at short. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. John Kopicki gets his 3rd strikeout of the ballgame and leaves the runner over at second. But the Joes do their damage. A 2 RBI double off the bat of the Arizona State Sun Devil. Trey Turner gives the Joes a 4-3 lead in the top of the third. But the Scouts will try to strike back in the home half, folks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. To the bottom of the third inning. 3 runs for the Joes in the top of the third. They now lead 4-3, and Chris Ackerman to the plate for the Scouts to lead things off. Fastball up and away. Ackerman hacks and fouls it off. Behind in the count, 0-1 is Chris Ackerman. Ackerman, the catcher tonight, splitting that duty between him, Ryan Park, and Donald Ring throughout the season as he watches on the outside now. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ackerman actually played left field in last night's contest, which is, if you are Chris Ackerman, not a normal occurrence by any means. His first time to the plate, he drew a walk, ended up coming around to score. 1-1 pitch, a fastball on the outside part of the plate, a called strike 2. The count moves 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Chris Ackerman. A 273 hitter on the year. He has drawn 16 walks. The 1-2 pitch. Curveball fouled hard down the third base line. We're going to stay at 1-2. Chris Ackerman yesterday, his first home run of the year. Did not have a home run with Hillsdale in the spring either, so his first home run of 2017. He waves and misses at a curveball, strike 3. Ackerman's 13th strikeout of the season, the 4th of the day here for the pitcher Frank Dixon, and he is getting himself into a little bit of a groove, Gabe.
A groove is the exact right word for it. 3 strikeouts to the last 4 batters for Dixon. And let's see if Ring can break the stretch.
Donald Ring to the plate, first pitch. That one's a fastball low. 1 ball and no strikes to Donald Ring. Ring, his first time to the plate, a ground out to second. Ended up scoring the first run of the game for the Scouts, however. Ring watches low again. The count moves 2-0. The Donald, a 269 hitter on the year. 2 RBI. 2-0 pitch. And he hits that one hard towards short. 1 hop to the shortstop, Santiago, who throws. The throw brings the first baseman Crockett off the bag a little bit, but he's able to keep his toe there and get him. So mark that one down as a 6-3, and now 2 away. So with 2 outs now, it's Caden Owens to the plate. Owens, a 231 hitter on the year. Coming into this ball game, now 7 hits, 7 for 27. A couple of doubles, and 1 RBI for Caden Owens. He takes first pitch, chest high, a called strike. 2 away here in the bottom by a score of 4-3. No Caden Owens. Owens, his first time up, beat out an infield single and a ball hit over towards first base. Curveball on 0-1. It's fouled straight back by Owens. The count moves 0-2. Caden, the right fielder from Oral Roberts University, appearing in his first ball game here since appearing in his first ball game as a hitter since Licking County, I believe.
Possibly. When he had the double in the last inning, and then he struck out 5 on the mound.
So 0-2 to Caden Owens here with 2 away in the bottom of the third. Lefty-lefty matchup favors the pitcher Dixon, and that one's hit on the ground towards the middle. The shortstop comes over, picks it up, throws over to first in time. Out number 3, another 1-2-3 inning for Frank Dixon. The Scouts go down in order. No runs on, no hits, and nobody left aboard. We have played 3 innings of baseball. Listen, Joe's 4-3 in mind. Gabe Genovesi going to take you through the middle 3. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network.
To the top of the fourth we go here at Grady's Field. A 4-3 Hamilton Joes lead over your Xenia Scouts as we head to the top half of the fourth inning. Riley Dent, the 9-hole hitter tonight for the Joes, will lead it off here in the fourth. The first pitch to him, a ball outside. Now he smacks the 1-0 down the third base line, but foul, 1-1. John Kopicki still on the mound for the Scouts. Kopicki's given up 4 runs. Only a couple have been earned, as he's only allowed 2 hits, but 3 errors by the Xenia Scouts club tonight have allowed the Joes to take a 4-3 lead. Now the 1-1 way low and outside, 2-1 to Riley Dent. Dent, his first time playing the Xenia Scouts in that 2-game series in Hamilton, which the Scouts took the second game. Hamilton won the first game, the 2-1 to Dent, fouled off 2-2. Dent was 4 for 8 in that series with an RBI. He scored 4 runs against the Scouts as well. Kopicki takes the sign, the 2-2 pitch. Curveball low and inside, 3-2. Riley Dent plays his college ball at Valparaiso. Hit 206 with the Crusaders, a 287 on-base percentage. Now the 3-2. Blooper down the left field line, foul, and we'll do 3-2 all over again. Dent, despite going 4 for 8 against the Scouts in their first 2-game series, he's 4 for 19 since June 20th, so over the last 9 days, Dent has struggled. Tonight, he's 0 for 1 with a ground out to Takis at third. The 3-2 pitch, high and away, ball 4. Riley Dent's on for the first time tonight with a walk. John Kopicki has now walked 3 and hit 2 batters. 5 free passes by Kopicki. So that, along with the 3 errors for the Scouts, have really cost Xenia here early, and they trail 4-3. Ryan Zeal's up to the plate now for the Joes, the leadoff hitter for Hamilton. The first pitch to the righty, high and away, ball 1. Zeal's 0 for 1 tonight, but he has reached on an error. He reached on an error by Takis in the first inning, came around to score the first run of the game, then flew out to the second baseman Bourgeois in the second. Kopicki throws over to first. Dent dives back safely. Ryan Zeal's on the season against Kopicki is now 0 for 2 with a walk and the reach on error, as Kopicki pitched last time these two teams met. A 14-7 victory for the Scouts against the Joes as Zeal's fouls one off down the first baseline. 1-1. One of the best, if not the best, offensive day on the season for the Scouts the last time these two teams played. A 14-run game as the Scouts were in control the entire time. 14 runs on 18 hits as Zeal's fouls it off 1-2. Scouts had a 6-run second inning in that one and didn't stop there. Tacked on a run in the fourth, 2 runs in the eighth, 4 in the ninth. Kopicki got the win. Tyler Walton took the loss that night. Walton not on the mound tonight for the Joes as Kopicki throws over and checks Dent at first. 4-3, the Hamilton Joes lead over the Xenia Scouts here in the top half of the fourth inning. And Kopicki is not going to let Dent get a far lead over there. Throws over again. The count still 1-2 on Ryan Zeal's. Dent 5 for 8 on stolen bases over there at first as this one is grounded toward Beachy at second. He flips to second. Bourgeois goes to first for 1. The throw is high. Ryan Zeal's reaches on a fielder's choice, and the throw was high from Bourgeois because Riley Dent slid right into Ange Bourgeois. He gets up fine. Hasn't quite taken a step yet. Can't tell if he's limping. Bourgeois just shaking out his glove over there right now. And Bubba Cates is going to come out and talk to the home plate umpire. And I'm sure we will not have a change of anything here. But there's one down here in the top of the fourth. Ryan Zeals takes Dent's place on first as he reaches on the fielder's choice. A good play by Beachy to charge the slow rolling ground ball and get the lead runner at second. Eric Santiago to the plate now for the Hamilton Joes. Santiago 0 for 1 and was hit by a pitch his last time up in the third inning. Ended up coming around to score the second run of the game. Kopicki now throws over and Zeals dives back safely. So Kopicki threw over at Riley Dent 3 times as Dent had a big lead on first. And Dent, 5 for 8 on stolen bases, a good cause. Ryan Zeals, well, even better than that. 8 stolen bases and now a hit and run. A ground ball gets through the hole. Owens comes up and picks that ball up in right field. The runners advance, runners on the corners for the Joes with 1 down. And that hit and run could not have worked any more perfectly. As Santiago singles, he's on for the second time today. A slow rolling ground ball, which would have been right to second and Ange Bourgeois, but Bourgeois, because the runner was going, had to come over and cover the bag. And it gets through the hole. First and third, 1 down here in the fourth for the Joes with a 4-3 lead over the Scouts. Now this one skied high in the air by Evan Bell. Middle of the infield, Bourgeois comes in, takes charge, and makes the play. 2 down. So Kopicki gets the out he desperately needed. And he's 1 out away from not allowing a run in this inning despite walking 1 and Santiago single. Nigel Williams now steps to the plate for the Joes. Williams 1 for 2 tonight, but he did reach on a fielder's choice as well, so he's been on base both times. A single in the first, the fielder's choice in the third. Came around to score the third run of the game in the third inning. On that 2 RBI double by Trey Turner. Now the pitch. Just outside, ball 1. Nigel Williams came into tonight 1 for 11 on the year. Will be a junior at Lake Erie College. Unfortunately, I'm not sure why he's only gotten 11 at-bats coming into this one. Not sure if it was an injury or just coach's decision. The 1-0. Williams swings to a fastball on the outside corner, 1-1. Now a run down at third. Takis has it at third. He'll throw home. Kopicki now has it. Kopicki fakes a couple times, and the tag is laid on by Beachy. And that'll be the inning. As the runner at third, Ryan Zeals, gets caught just too far off of third. Ackerman snapped the throw down to third, caught Zeals in the rundown. And a good job by the Scouts defense to not make any errors there and get out of the inning. So Nigel Williams will still be up when the Joes come back to bat in the fifth. Kopicki gets out of the fourth with no runs. A 4-3 deficit for the Scouts as we head to the home half of the fourth inning. You're listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. To the home half of the fourth inning we go here at Grady's Field in Xenia, Ohio. Hamilton Joe 3 as we head to the bottom half of the fourth. Ange Bourgeois leads it off for the Scouts and takes a strike at the knees. Bourgeois, the 7-hole hitter in the lineup tonight for Xenia, followed by Dylan Lottenville and Francisco Andina here in the fourth. Now Bourgeois, slow ground ball towards short. Santiago charges, makes the play. Bourgeois is retired, 1 down. And that'll bring up Dylan Lottenville. Lottenville walked back in the first inning, struggling to begin the year. 4 for 42. 0.95 batting average for Lottenville, as he's been around despite the bad batting average, as the first pitch from Dixon is outside, ball 1. He's been about 5 feet away combined from 3 home runs. He had 1 robbed like it would have been over, and he had 1 caught with the left fielder's back at the wall, as this time he swings through a fastball 1-1. And then he had 1 caught at the very beginning of the warning track. 3 deep fly balls that all looked like they were going to be out from Lottenville.
And that's absolutely right. And he has a tough task here because Dixon is absolutely rolling as he lays a strike in there. It's now 8 straight Scouts without allowing a hit or a walk, and without allowing a base runner, because even though the error would have put Ryan Park at first, he ended up getting out at second.
Curveball there. Lottenville went around, strike 3. Frank Dixon gets his 5th strikeout of the evening. And there's 2 down here in the fourth as Francisco Andina steps to the plate. And there's a decent amount of Hamilton Joe's fans here in Xenia tonight.
They travel very well, and, we saw that all last year with the playoffs here. With the playoffs, especially in the playoff situation and stretch run, we played them a couple games to end the season. It's about 50-50.
Andina steps in. The lefty skies one high in the air toward left field. The left fielder, Turner, settles under it, and the Scouts go down 1, 2, 3 for the 3rd inning in a row. A 4-3 lead for the Joes as we head to the top of the 5th. You're listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. A 4-3 Hamilton Joe's lead over the Xenia Scouts as we head to the top of the 5th inning. John Kopicki still on the mound for Xenia as we head to the leadoff will be Nigel Williams. Williams was up last inning, and the rundown at 3rd as Ryan Zeals was picked off at 3rd base. Williams didn't get to finish his at-bat, so he's up again here in the 5th. Takes the ball outside, 1-0. Williams on the day, 1 for 2. He's been on base both times, though, as he reached on a fielder's choice. This time he takes the ball low, 2-0. Nigel Williams will be a junior at Lake Erie College. 5'10", 190 pounds, stands in as a righty. The 2-0, grounded fair down the 3rd baseline. Takis, a diving play, and he got him. Aaron Takis, a diving stop over in the deep corner at 3rd. The Williams.
Display there by Aaron Takis at the hot corner. Best work we've seen him do in that spot all year long, Gabe.
And after 2 errors early from Aaron Takis, he's made quite a few nice plays over that 3rd, as the Joes seem to like hitting over to the hot corner here today. Ryan Crockett steps to the plate now for Hamilton. He takes a strike in the outside corner. 0-1. Crockett, 2 walks today. 0 for 0. At second, came around to score the 4th run of the game in the 3rd. Now he chops one toward Beachy at short. Beachy fields it on a couple hops, fires. Donald Ring saves Ben Beachy there with a scoop. That was a little to the right of Ring as well. 2 down.
And for Donald Ring, who hasn't played first base in quite a while, a good play there defensively. But remember, folks, Ring, who's the everyday catcher at Hillsdale, when Ackerman comes to play catcher to give Ring days off, it's Ring who moves to first. Dylan Lottenville, who normally plays first at Hillsdale, moves to right.
And now a bunt laid down the third base line, but foul by Luke Torino. So 0-1 on Torino. He's 0 for 1 today with a hit by pitch. He was hit in the first inning, struck out his last time, the second victim of John Kopicki in the 3rd. Now he hopes to keep the inning alive here in the 5th for the Joes. The 0-1 from Kopicki. Fastball in there, strike 2 on the inside part of the plate. Torino struggling coming into this one, 0 for his last 9. Make it over his last 10. The lefty waves the bat up. Now skies one high, medium depth to right field. Caden Owens ranging back, and John Kopicki pitches a 1-2-3 inning here in the 5th as the Scouts will head to bat in the bottom of the 5th. Only down 1, a 4-3 lead for the Joes. You're listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. A 4-3 Hamilton Joes lead over your Xenia Scouts as we head to the bottom half of the 5th inning. The Scouts have gone down 1-2-3 for the last 3 innings. They look to change that here in the 5th as Ben Beachy, the leadoff hitter for the Scouts tonight, will lead it off here in the 5th, and he skies one high and deep toward right field. That ball carrying and is caught at the warning track. Oh, my. And that ball might have gone out.
No, it certainly would have. I saw him. I have a better angle based on the way our press box seating is here. I'm looking towards right. He caught that ball glove over the yellow line. Rob Ben Beachy of home run number 2 of the season.
And the wind slightly blowing out here at Grady's Field tonight. That would have tied the game. A big play by Evan Bell in right field to keep the Joes with the lead. Ryan Park to the plate now for the Scouts. He walked back in the first inning, and now he fouls one off, 1-1. Technically, he would have reached on an error in the second inning. He tried to extend that into a double and got thrown out on a drop ball in the outfield. Now the 1-1, way low and in on Ryan Park. Just avoided his foot. 2 balls and 1 strike to the sophomore from Point Loma Nazarene University. 4-3, the Hamilton Joes lead here in the bottom of the 5th as Park takes the ball low, 3-1. And Frank Dixon now working very quickly on the mound after he allowed 3 runs on 3 hits in the first inning. He had retired 10 scouts in a row. Now, actually, 11 scouts in a row. But Ryan Park is on with a walk here, and there's one on with one out for Aaron Takis.
Ryan Park just continues to find ways to get on base. That's now 16 walks on the year. And so him and Chris Ackerman now tied for the team lead.
And both tied in the league in walks as well. Aaron Takis to the plate now for the Scouts. The lefty watches a strike at the knees, 0-1. Takis 0 for 2 tonight, a couple of strikeouts, both swinging in the first and the second inning. Trying to advance Park here with one out here in the bottom of the fifth. The pitch fouled off behind the plate, and that's the pitch Aaron Takis wanted, a fastball about chest high, 0-2.
Yeah, Takis just missing that one. Fouled it straight back. And you could just tell a little bit of a missed opportunity there for Takis. Now behind in this count, 0-2.
Takis came into tonight 8 for 34 on the year, a .235 hitter. No extra base hits thus far for the junior. Now the 0-2, a curveball high at the chin, 1-2. Chris Ackerman on deck for the Scouts. He had a double and a home run yesterday. The 1-2 to Takis. Fastball fouled off down the third baseline. A good job by Takis to stay alive. 1-2.
I'm going to go get the pitch count numbers here on both of the starters as we're here in the bottom of the fifth. And, of course, in a tight ball game like this, how long your starter can go and who you got ready in the bullpen available to pitch going to play a huge part in this. I'd expect Landon Williams to follow Kapicki for the Scouts.
The 1-2 now. Curveball. Takis did not go around. Oh, that was close. Both umpires say no. And luckily for the Scouts, the field umpire is right behind the pitcher's mound here for Takis' at bat with Park at first. If he was along the first baseline, Takis might have been run up. Now the 2-2. Another curveball low in the dirt. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Aaron Takis.
Great job here by Takis to work his way back into this count after falling behind 0-2.
A 4-3 Hamilton Joe's lead over the Scouts here in the bottom half of the fifth inning. Ryan Park on first for Xenia. Aaron Takis to the plate for the Scouts. The 3-2 pitch. High and inside, ball 4. Aaron Takis. Takis works his way on with a walk. The second of the inning for the Scouts. I believe that's the 4th of the game issued by Frank Dixon. And there's 2 on with 1 out for Chris Ackerman.
And, we saw it in the beginning, right? It was the Scouts who were working counts, drawing walks, and hitting this guy. In the second, third, and fourth, Dixon was basically untouchable, now showing signs that he's losing control yet again. Let's see if the Scouts can start picking it up again.
The first pitch to Ackerman, a swing and a miss on a fastball on the outside corner, 0-1. Chris Ackerman changed his bat a couple games ago. He went from a 33-inch bat to a 34-inch bat. He said with the 33-inch bat, he was, as the 0-1 pitch from Dixon, catch to the outside corner, strike 2. He said with the 33-inch bat, he had used it his whole life. He wasn't blaming the bat for not having an extra base hit this year, but he felt like he was a little slow on some things. And he said, it sounds weird going to a 34-inch bat to like speed myself up, but he said that extra inch gave him some extra, what's the word I'm looking for? Plate coverage.
Yep, like more of a presence there.
Yes, and he said, yesterday he hits the 3-run bomb. He hits the double, so he doesn't know if it's the bat or not, but he's going to stick with the 34-incher. Count 1-2 on Ackerman. 2 on, 1 out for the Scouts. The pitch, high and away, 2-2. And Frank Dixon has gotten ahead of these Xenia Scouts hitters, but we've seen a couple times on these walks, the Scouts are able to foul off a couple pitches and stay alive, and that's exactly what Ackerman's done here in this at-bat. That's exactly what Takis did his last at-bat. And now the count's even to Chris Ackerman.
Yeah, and that's absolutely right. Takis had such an impressive at-bat just one at-bat ago after going behind 0-2. And even if he hadn't drawn the walk, just working the pitch count would have been a thumbs up for the Scouts. But now with 2 on and Ackerman here, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Let's see if they can keep taking advantage of Dixon's inability to find the zone.
Park on second, Takis on first. The 2-2 pitch to Ackerman. Fouled off down the third baseline. A rocket shot by Ackerman. And first base coach Ross Yoder had to duck out of the way of that one, getting some chirps from the dugout.
You know what I learned yesterday, Gabe? Ross Yoder was a first-team All-American in
Yes.
NAIA.
Yes. He could play back in his college days. He still can play.
Played some second base for Mount Vernon.
The 2-2 pitch to Ackerman. A curveball. Ackerman held up. And once again, these umpires converse. The home plate umpire says he didn't go. The field umpire says no, he did not go around. And the Hamilton Joes fans here at Grady's Field.
No, the large contingent of them don't like it, and they're being loud about it.
Count now full on Ackerman. A 4-3 Hamilton Joes lead over the Scouts here in the bottom of the 5th. The Scouts threatening 2 on with 1 out. Park on second, Takis on first. The 3-2 pitch to Chris Ackerman. High and away, ball 4. The bases are juiced for Donald Ring.
And the same old story, same old song and dance. These last couple of at-bats for the pitcher Frank Dixon. Get ahead in the count and just keep missing the zone over and over again. And now for Donald Ring, a guy who, still hitless on the day, but very hot. A big spot here.
Ring 0 for 2 today. Did have the RBI back in the first inning on the ground out to second. But Andrew said he was hot because he went 4 for 4 with a walk yesterday, including a homer. The first pitch to Ring, high at the chin, ball 1. Ring came into tonight batting .269. He came in to last night's game batting .139. As the catcher, James Wick, will go out and talk to Dixon.
And I had actually, I had talked with Ring, and I talked to him because he was complaining to me about how he was a little upset that he was struggling. And I told him, well, if you go 2 for 3 tonight, you'll be hitting over 200. I did the math on my phone. And he told me after the game, he had a big smile on his face. There was a happy Donald Ring after 4 for 4 with a home run. He said, I was just talking to Dylan before the game, and he said, I'm so even right now. I'm so zen because Andy told me that if I get 2 hits today, I'll be hitting over 200. Well, he doubled the 2-hit threshold I was looking for, and an opportunity already with an RBI today. An opportunity to make an even bigger impact here with the bases loaded ahead in the count of ball and no strikes.
The Joes lead the Scouts 4-3 here in the bottom of the 5th. 1 down for the Scouts here in the home half of the 5th. Bases loaded for Donald Ring. The 1-0 pitch. A fastball just high. Just above the strike zone. 2-0.
With the bases loaded, Ring could get his pitch to hit here.
The 2-0. A swing and a miss on a changeup low and away, and Donald Ring just chased ball 3, and he knows it. Looks over toward the dugout with that grimace on his face. Ryan Park on third, Aaron Takis on second, Chris Ackerman on first. The 2-1 pitch to Ring. A fastball high at the chin once again. Frank Dixon missing just high with those fastballs, and it's 3-1 to the junior.
Ring's either going to get something to hit here, or the tying run comes home on a bases-loaded walk.
The 3-1 pitch. Skied high in the air toward left field. Going back as the left fielder. That ball 1 hops over the wall. A ground rule double for Donald Ring. 2-run score, and the Scouts have a 5-4 lead.
Donald Ring continues to put in work here these last couple of days for the Scouts. That's now 5 RBIs in the last 2 games. And Ring, who, like we just mentioned a second ago, had really struggled in his first 20 or so at-bats, now really getting into a groove here and putting the Scouts ahead in the lead. And with runners at second and third and still 1 out for Caden Owens, a chance to keep going.
And I think we're going to have a pitching change here by the Joes. Yep. Frank Dixon out of the game. 4 in a third innings pitched. 5 runs given up. All of them earned. We'll step aside as we wait for the pitching change, and we'll give you some info on who it is when we come back. A 5-4 Xenia Scouts lead. You're listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. A pitching change for the Hamilton Joes here in the bottom half of the fifth as the Scouts have struck twice here in the home half of the fifth inning. They've taken a 5-4 lead. Caden Owens to the plate. Still 2-on with one out for Owens. And Andy Almquist is the new pitcher.
Andy Almquist, 6 appearances, 14 2/3 innings pitched. He's allowed 9 earned runs, a 5.52 ERA. But here's the thing, Gabe, 19 strikeouts for just 7 walks.
So he's got some punch-out stuff. Say that ERA again.
5.52 ERA, a 1.57 whip, and a 2.62 batting average against.
The 1-0 to Owens, smacked, line drive, center field, caught by the center fielder Dent. Ackerman coming home. The throw's not cut off, but Ackerman slides in safely. A sac fly for Caden Owens, and it's 3-0, 6-4 Scouts, the third run of this fifth inning.
Yeah, good job. Like that's one more home. That ball, not high fly, but not all the hang time in the world. Kind of shallow center field and a good arm out there for the center fielder Dent. And not a ton of speed on the base pass for Chris Ackerman, but it does the job. Ackerman comes home. The throw is just a tad bit offline to the catcher. And just like that, the Scouts a 2-run lead now after trailing by 1 coming into this inning.
And Ange Bourgeois to the plate for the Scouts. Donald Ring still at second. Bourgeois comes up to the plate, 1 for 2 today, an RBI single back in the first inning. Grounded out to the shortstop Santiago in the fourth. Up again here in the fifth. Ange Bourgeois is the only Xenia Scout to reach base in every single game that he has played in. Make it 14 for 14. His 6-game hit streak did come to an end yesterday as he reached base on a couple walks, but he's now has a hit in 7 of his last 8 games with a single tonight. The first pitch to him, curveball high, ball 1.
And there's no way we'll ever figure it out, but I would say he's probably one of very few people, if not the only person in the league, to have that kind of streak going for him.
The 1-0, a fastball fouled off behind the plate, 1-1. Bourgeois, the lefty, Donald Ring on second for the Scouts. A 3-run fifth inning for Xenia as they've taken a 6-4 lead here on the Hamilton Joes. The 1-1 pitch to Ange Bourgeois. A curveball gets in there just on the outside corner for strike 2. Ange Bourgeois, he's the only guy on the Xenia Scouts team that has assistant coach Ross Yoder throw curveballs to him during batting practice. The 1-2, high and away, ball 2. He says, well, most guys say, I'm just trying to time up one pitch. Get the 2-seamers and the 4-seam fastballs that Yoder throws. Just trying to time that up to begin my day. Bourgeois says he struggles on the curveball and he likes to see it. Now that curveball gets away from the catcher. Ring moves to third. James Wick just couldn't quite handle the curveball high. And is now 90 feet away.
Yeah, and Donald almost hesitated there, deciding whether he wanted to take third, but the catcher Wick just didn't really seem to have much of a sense of urgency to getting back to that ball, and Donald just kind of lightly jogs over to third.
The count now full on Ange Bourgeois, and with 2 down, Donald Ring can take off. The pitch, high, it gets past the catcher. It will not trickle far enough. Ring will stay at third. Ange Bourgeois is on for the second time today. He walks, runners on the corners, 2 down.
A little more of a sense of urgency by Wick that time around. Did not want to see another run come home in Donald Ring, but Dylan Lottenville finds himself in another big spot with an opportunity to break this little slump of his.
Ring on third, Bourgeois on first, 2 down for Lottenville. First pitch, skied high, foul territory, third baseman pursuing at a play. 0-1.
A lot of hang time on that ball there, and kind of off the bat, not totally sure whether the third baseman there, Torino, was going to have a chance at it, but just gets enough to get out in a new sign of life here for Dylan Lottenville.
Lottenville 0 for 1 today. He struck out back in the 4th inning, walked in the first. The 0-1. Fastball catches the outside edge, 0-2. Lottenville 4 for 43 now on the year. The 0-2 pitch, curveball high and away, ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Dylan Lottenville. A 3-run 5th inning for the Scouts makes it 6-4 Xenia over the Joes. And Lottenville trying to extend the inning. Donald Ring on third, Ange Bourgeois on first. The 1-2 pitch. Bourgeois takes off, and Lottenville swings through a curveball. Strike 3. Andy Almquist gets his first strikeout of the evening, but the Scouts get damage done. 3 runs on just 1 hit. 4 walks in the inning for Xenia, and they take a 6-4 lead as we head to the 6th. You're listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. A 6-4 Xenia Scouts lead over the Hamilton Joes as we head to the top of the 6th inning. John Kopicki back out there for his 6th inning of work tonight. Starting pitcher for the Xenia Scouts. Trey Turner leads it off for the Joes here in the 6th. James Wick and Riley Dent follow him as Turner shows bunt, pulls back, ball 1. The 7-8-9 hitters due up for the Joes. Turner tonight, 1 for 2 with that 2 RBI double back in the 3rd. That was only his 2nd extra base hit of the year. Now the 1-0. Fastball high and tight, but Turner takes a hack and fouls it off, 1-1. Trey Turner was 1 for 3 against John Kopicki coming into this game as Kopicki pitched the last outing between these two teams, and now that fastball just misses, 2-1. Kopicki got a win in that meeting, a 14-7 victory for the Scouts the last time these two teams met. 2-1 at the knee, strike 2. Kopicki went with the change up there. 2-2 to Trey Turner. Trey Turner plays his college ball at Arizona State, and baseball is not the only sport he plays. A football athlete as well for the Sun Devils. He redshirted in both sports this past year. The 2-2. Skied high into shallow right field. Bourgeois called off by Lottenville. Excuse me. That is Caden Owens in right field. 1 down in the 6th. Good job by Owens to call off Bourgeois as Ange Bourgeois had an awkward angle over there running back on that ball from second base. And that brings up James Wick, the righty, for the Joes. A 6-4 Xenia Scouts lead here in the top of the 6th. The pitch. Chop toward third base. Takis a sliding play. Spins. Throws across the diamond. It's way wide. It gets past Ring. Wick will move to second. He'll hold up there. So Takis makes a good play on the ground ball, but had to get up and quickly fire it. And the throw was wide. James Wick's on second with 1 down. And I'm not sure how they will score that. They will score it as another error on Aaron Takis. The 4th error of the game for the Scouts. The 3rd error on Takis alone. And that brings up Riley Dent. Dent 0 for 1 today with a walk. He walked his last time up, grounded out to the 3rd baseman. Takis in the 2nd inning. Dent, the 9-hole hitter in this Joes lineup. The pitch. Swung on and missed. The changeup, strike 1. Riley Dent, 10 for 39 on the year, a 256 average coming into this one. He bats from the left side against the righty Kopicki. The 0-1 pitch just off the outside corner, 1-1. Kopecky in his 6th inning of work has a 6-4 lead right now. 1 down. James Wick stands on second for the Joes as they try to cut in to the Xenia Scouts lead. The 1-1 pitch from John Kopecky. Fastball in there, strike 2. Catches the upper part of the zone. And John Kopecky is ahead on Riley Dent, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Dent was 2 for 3 against Kopecky the last time these two teams met. Kopecky has had the best of him today. The 1-2 pitch, curveball, blooped into left field, foul. And we'll do 1-2 all over again. Some action in the Xenia Scouts bullpen. It's Landon Williams out there on the mound for Xenia. The best reliever the Scouts have. The Scouts 7-9. Badly needed a win here tonight. The 1-2 pitch. Fastball off the outside part of the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Riley Dent. Kopecky takes the sign. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on, flared left field, foul once again. Dent doing a great job of just poking pitches that he doesn't like out of the way and staying alive as Kopecky has painted that outside corner twice now, and Dent has been able to just stay alive. Riley Dent, not a big power guy, only 1 extra base hit on the year. It was a double. No triples, no home runs. A 6-4 Xenia Scouts lead here in the 6th. The 2-2 from Kopecky. Swung on, flied, out of play. Aaron Tack is pursuing down the left field line. And we will stay at 2-2. Riley Dent doing a great job here against John Kopecky, as Kopecky's pitch count has to be getting up there. Riley Dent, the lefty, Kopecky, the righty. The 2-2 pitch. In the dirt, a good block by Ackerman, and the count is full. And boy, would this be a successful at-bat for Riley Dent. If he can get on with a walk here, Kopecky has thrown now, well, this will be pitch number 9 in this at-bat. The 3-2 pitch. Fastball fouled off behind the plate, and we will head to pitch number 10.
Like you said, Dent just fights to stay alive, and for John Kopecky out here in his 6th inning of work, just laboring out there, following the error. Definitely a tough pill to swallow if you're big John Kopecky out there.
And if you're the Scouts, you are praying Kopecky just gets through this inning. Landon Williams can hopefully take you 7, 8, 9. As he's been in the bullpen for a little while now. The 3-2 pitch, fastball flared into left field. The left fielder, Lottenville, settles under it, 2 down. And despite working the pitch count, Riley Dent flies out to left, and that is big for John Kopecky.
Yeah, but a successful at-bat for the Hamilton Joes in a lot of ways, nonetheless.
And that'll bring up Ryan Zeals, the leadoff hitter in this Hamilton Joes lineup. Zeals tonight has reached base twice, but doesn't have a hit. And now Bubba Cates is going to come out, and I think he's going to make the move. He will. So Bubba Cates, as we've seen often in the Xenia Scouts season, maybe letting starting pitchers go 1 out too long, 2 outs too long, and the opposition tacking on a couple more to end innings will take on Kopecky out. And Kopecky, a very successful night, comes out of the game without allowing a run here in the 6th, and Landon Williams will take his place. A 6-4 Xenia Scouts lead, 2 down here in the top of the 6th inning. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. Landon Williams into the game to pitch for the Xenia Scouts. The 6-4 lead for the Scouts here in the top of the sixth. The Joes with the runner on second and 2 down. John Kopicki's final line, 5 2/3 innings pitched, 3 hits given up, 4 runs, only 1 earned, as the Scouts have committed 4 errors tonight. 3 walks, 3 strikeouts for Kopicki, as the first pitch from Landon Williams is a ball outside to the leadoff batter, Ryan Zeals. Zeals, 0 for 1 tonight, has not reached base. Has reached base twice tonight. However, he's 0 for 2 and has reached on an error. He reached on an error and a fielder's choice. The 1-0. Slider fouled off down the third baseline, 1-1. So Kopicki, without the errors, a very efficient night.
Oh, absolutely. And, the Scouts are going to be very proud of Kopicki for what we saw from him tonight.
And even the runner on second right now, it would not be an earned run as he reached on an error. Williams, the deep breath. The 1-1 pitch to Zeals. Slider way outside. A good block by Ackerman. 2-1. And even though that pitch is way outside, that's tough for a hitter to lay off when it crosses your body and crosses the plate and swoops outside. Landon Williams, one of the best relievers on the Xenia Scouts team. 15 2/3 innings pitched. He's only given up 12 hits, 3 earned runs. As that slider once again way out, Landon Williams just kind of shrugs his shoulders like, I don't know what's up.
He is off his game. And Corey Coobs always talks about Landon Williams. Williams is kind of a guy that you got to push to get to that dominant point that he can get to. Just keep working it and working it. Remind him of what he can accomplish if he does it right.
The 3-1 to Zeals. Fastball lined foul down the first baseline, 3-2. And you mentioned the dominance. 5 walks, 19 strikeouts for Landon Williams. A 1.09 whip. Opponent's only about 207 against Williams. 3-2, 2 outs to Ryan Zeals. The runner on second, Wick, will be running. The payoff pitch, slider fouled off behind the plate. Good job by Zeals to wait on that pitch and foul it off. 3-2.
Yeah, good job, like you said, by Zeals protecting that one on the inside part of the plate that time. And Zeals just kind of sticking the knob of the bat out there saying, give me another one.
Ryan Zeals came into this one hot. 7 for his last 15 with 4 RBIs. Now the payoff pitch. Slider swing and a miss. Strike 3. Landon Williams finally gets that slider to first for Williams, and it's a big one. The Joes do not get anything here in the 6th, and the Scouts head to the home half, up 6-4. You're listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. To the home half of the 6th inning we go here at Grady's Field. A 6-4 Xenia Scouts lead over the Hamilton Joes as Francisco Andina will lead it off for the Scouts. He shows bunt, takes the ball high and away, 1-0. Andina followed by the leadoff hitter Ben Beachy and Ryan Park due up for the Scouts here in the 6th. A couple of 3 spots for the Scouts tonight. 3 in the bottom of the 1st, 3 in the bottom of the 5th have given them a 6-4 lead as Andina squares to bunt again. This time, the pitch finds the zone, 1-1. Francisco Andina 0 for 2 tonight. A ground out to first in the 1st inning, a fly out to the left fielder Trey Turner in the 4th. The pitch just below the knees, 2 balls and 1 strike on Francisco Andina. Andina came into tonight batting .191, but 13 walks on the year, 3rd on the Xenia Scouts team. His on-base percentage, .367. The 2-1 to the lefty, just low. Another fastball from Andy Almquist on the mound for the Joes, 3-1. And Andina standing at 5'8" in the lefty's batter's box. It can be very hard to find the strike zone on him. And the 13 walks shows for that. The 3-1 just catches the outside edge. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Andina, who has not seen an off-speed pitch yet from Almquist. 6-4 Xenia Scouts lead of the Joes here in the bottom of the 6th. I mentioned the 3 spots for the Scouts. The Joes also put up a 3 spot in the top of the 3rd as a ground ball towards second now from Andina. The pickup by Zeals over to first. Andina's retired for the 3rd time today. So the Joes put up a 3 spot in the 3rd. They also had the first run of the game in the 1st. And that has led us to the 6-4 Xenia Scouts lead as Ben Beachy comes to the plate for the 4th time today here in the 6th. Beachy, a double in the 1st inning, came around to score the first run of the game before the Scouts on an RBI ground out from Donald Ring. Struck out looking his 2nd time up as he takes a curveball at the knee, strike 1. Then flew out to the right fielder Evan Bell back in the 5th inning. But when I say fly out, I mean he was robbed by Evan Bell. The 0-1 now swings through a curveball. 0-2. Bell just stuck his glove over the top of the wall, that yellow tube, actually. It's a tube out there on the top of the wall. And now Beachy down in the count 0-2. Ben Beachy left yesterday's game in the middle of the 4th inning. We were unsure why at the time as he chops the 0-2 toward the shortstop. Actually, the 3rd baseman, Torino, comes in. Beachy beats it out. Ben Beachy is on with an infield single, his 2nd hit of the day. The Scouts have a runner aboard with 1 down. But Beachy left yesterday's game unexpectedly. We were unsure why at the time. We were unable to get word. He said today he's been having some knee issues. Nothing major at all. But he said he just felt it tighten up a little, excuse me. And he felt safer not playing. He says he feels perfectly fine today. The first pitch to Ryan Park in there at the knees for strike 1. Park 0 for 0 today, 0 for 0, excuse me. He has reached on 2 walks and an error. He was thrown out at 2nd on the error, though, as he swings through a fastball on the outside corner, 0-2. Park, one of the hottest hitters on the Xenia Scouts team, batting .340 on the year as he chops one toward the 2nd baseman, Zeals. Zeals misses the tag of Beachy, then drops the ball. So Beachy is safe at 2nd, Park safe at 1st, 2 on with 1 out here in the 6th. And I'm curious to see how they will score that one. They will say that is an error, the first error of the game on the Hamilton Joes by the 2nd baseman, Ryan Zeals, and there's 2 on with 1 down for Takis. Aaron Takis 0 for 2 with a walk today. Struck out swinging in the 1st and the 2nd innings. Walked and came around to score on the 2 RBI double by Donald Ring in the 5th. This time he swings through a curveball low, 0-1. Takis, the lefty, trying to tack on to the Xenia Scouts lead. The 0-1. A curveball just in there on the outside edge. Strike two. A 6-4 Scouts lead over the Joes. Ben Beachy stands on second. Ryan Park on first. One down here in the home half of the sixth inning. The 0-2 to Takis. Fastball way outside. A good stop by the catcher, James Wick, to leap out of his stance and grab that one, 1-2.
And Gabe, you mentioned Tag is 0 for 2 with a walk, but let's not understate how important that walk was. Tag is behind in the count 0-2, fights all the way back to draw the walk, ends up coming around to score the go-ahead run for the Scouts.
Now the 1-2, a curveball. Takis swings through it. 2 down here in the sixth. Second strikeout of the evening for Andy Almquist, as he came in relief for Frank Dixon, and that'll bring up Chris Ackerman for the Scouts. 6-4, Scouts lead over the Joes. 2 on, 2 out for Ackerman. He's 0 for 1 with a couple of walks today as he takes a curveball in there for a strike, but boy, that barely caught the upper part of the zone.
Yeah, Ackerman continues to do what he's done best all season, and that's draw walks, 2 walks, and, we talk about Moneyball, what translates into success. Ackerman, 2 walks, comes around and scored runs both times.
The 0-1, fastball high and tight, 1-1. Ackerman now 17 walks on the year.
In 17 games, but he hasn't played in all 17 games.
No. That's top 5 in the Great Lakes League, first on the Xenia Scouts team. The 2-1 low and away, 3-1 to Chris Ackerman.
And we talk about Ryan O'Hearn with the Scouts, Ackerman's Hillsdale teammate who finished tops in the league in walks last year. He finished with 33, so Ackerman is already on pace to do better than that.
He swings through the off-speed pitch there, and excuse me, it's 2-2 to Chris Ackerman. I believe I said 3-1 on the last count. It was 2-1, now it's 2-2. Ackerman readjusts his batting gloves. A deep breath. He steps back in as the Scouts lead the Joes 6-4. 2 on, 2 out. The 2-2 pitch from Almquist. A curveball high and tight, 3-2.
Could he draw another walk here?
Ackerman had a 500 on-base percentage coming into this one. He's already been on 2 out of the 3 times he's been up to the plate tonight. Donald Ring waiting on deck. The pitch to Ackerman, a swing and a miss on the outside corner. He foul-tipped it, looked back into the glove of Wick and just slapped his bat. He knew he missed his pitch there. But Almquist gets his 3rd strikeout of the evening, and the Scouts leave 2 on, no runs here in the 6th. They head to the 7th, a 6-4 lead for Xenia. Andrew Alex will take the play-by-play the rest of the way. You're listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network.
It's the top of the 7th inning. The Scouts with a 6-4 lead. First pitch from Landon. That one comes on the inside, and the leadoff man here in this inning, that's Eric Santiago. Thought that it hit him, and so did some of the people in the stands that are supporters here of the Hamilton Joes, but the umpire comes out and says, I don't think that hit him. Some kind of conversation with Williams. I don't know what the subject may have been. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Eric Santiago. Santiago is 1 for 2 on the day. He also reached on a hit by pitch, came around to score the first run of the 3rd inning. Slider there from Landon Williams, fouled out of play, third base side, evens up the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Santiago, the shortstop from the University of Cincinnati, came into the game hitting .282. That's with 1 double and 8 RBIs. It will be Santiago, Evan Bell, and Nigel Williams to the plate. 1-1 missing on the outside, make the count 2-1. Williams. The 2-1 pitch. And that one, a slider. Missing on the outside yet again. Moves the count 40 balls and 1. Landon Williams came in relief with 2 outs in 6th. And a runner in scoring position for the Hamilton Joes, but he got Ryan Zeals swinging. But the 3-1 pitch, a slider from Williams, a little bit wild yet again. Ball number 4. So Landon Williams puts the leadoff man aboard for the Hamilton Joes. And Evan Bell now going to come to the plate. That's just the 6th walk from Landon Williams all season long. Control, normally one of his strong suits. So now Evan Bell to the plate. Bell is 0 for 3 on the day. A ground out reached on an error and a flyout. He hits one over to third. Aaron Takis gloves it, throws to second. It won't be in time. And the throw from second to first from Ange Bourgeois not going to be in time either. Maybe a little bit of a miscalculation there by Aaron Takis, thinking he could get the lead runner, Eric Santiago, over at first. A valiant effort to try to turn the double play, but everyone is safe. And the Hamilton Joes with 2 on and nobody out as they trail the Scouts 6-4 here in the top of the 7th inning and down to the middle part of the order for this Hamilton team. So it's going to be Nigel Williams to the plate. Williams, 1 for 3 on the day. He has scored a run after reaching on a fielder's choice back in the 3rd. He's hit a single in the 1st. The first hit off of John Kopicki. First pitch, a slider from Landon Williams. It misses low and away. 1 ball and no strikes. It's Eric Santiago at second. Evan Bell at first. Williams, the 2nd highest batting average in Hamilton's lineup today. He came into the game batting .282 with 8 runs batted in. And time is called there. A ball and no strikes to count. Williams looks to the catcher, Chris Ackerman. A righty-righty matchup favors the pitcher, Landon Williams. The 1-0 pitch. Or check that. Williams actually looks back. The lead runner, Eric Santiago. So we're going to have to wait for the one. The 1-0 delivery. And that one missing low and on the outside. A slider yet again missing. So 2 balls and no strikes to count. Landon Williams from Oklahoma Wesleyan University. Oklahoma Wesleyan, of course, an NAIA powerhouse, where Corey Koob spent 2 years as a graduate assistant coach, coaching a lot of first base. And Williams, the native of Clovis, New Mexico. And Corey Koobs formed a great relationship there. And Koobs, who was, of course, a coach on last year's 2016 team, said, "Hey, Landon, I'm heading back to Xenia, Ohio, trying to win myself another championship here after the Scouts came just short." And Williams was happy to join him. The 2-0 pitch, that one does find the zone. Fastball right down the pipe. A called strike, 2-1 moves the count. Runners at second and first here. Nobody out in the top of the 7th. The Scouts lead by a score of 6-4. The 2-1 pitch. And that one is hit on the ground over towards second base. Ange Bourgeois bobbles it. He can't transfer the ball from the glove to the hand. An error by the second baseman, Ange Bourgeois. And just like that, the bases are juiced here for the Hamilton Joes at the top of the 7th. And that's an absolutely tough pill to swallow. First, the ground ball over to Aaron Takis, where Takis tried to turn the double play but couldn't get it there in time. And then the error by the second baseman, Ange Bourgeois. The base is now loaded, and, Landon Williams can't catch a break here. Santiago at third, Bell at second, Nigel Williams at first, the batter Ryan Crockett. Crockett 0 for 1 on the day. He has walked twice, however, scored a run. A ball and no strikes to count. Williams looks to the catcher, Ackerman. The 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Evens up the count, a ball and a strike. Crockett from Stanford, Division I program in the great state of Alabama, came into this game batting 0-9, 1 double, 3 RBIs. It's been a struggle thus far for Ryan Crockett this season, but he finds himself in a huge spot here for the Hamilton Joes. He bats from the right side against the righty Landon Williams. 1-1 pitch, low below the knees and on the inside. The count moves 2 balls and 1 strike. The Hamilton Joes blew a 5-run lead in the 9th inning yesterday to lose to the Galleon Graders. The 2-1 pitch. And that one's hit in the air, foul territory. Donald Ring, the first baseman's calling for it. He has it, makes the grab. And a much-needed out number 1 for Landon Williams, who, following an error and a de facto error, continues to have himself in a little bit of trouble. So mark that one down as an F3. And the bases are still loaded now for Luke Torino. Torino, 0 for 2 on the day. He struck out in the 3rd, flew out to right in the 5th. A fly out to right here would be good enough to bring at least 1 run home for the Hamilton Joes. So he steps in. First pitch. Swing and a miss. Count 0-1 now. Torino, $162 on the year. 1 double, 5 RBIs for the third baseman from the University of Cincinnati. Lefty-righty matchup here. The 0-1. And that one's hit up the middle of base, hit into center field. 1 run comes home. The throw from the center fielder is cut off. Everyone advances 90 feet, an RBI single from Luke Torino. And the Scouts' lead is cut to just 1. And Luke Torino absolutely hit that ball smack dab on the nose. So Eric Santiago comes home. The score now 5-6 in favor of the Xenia Scouts. And Corey Koob's going to come out and have a word with the pitcher, Landon Williams. So for Williams, a tough go thus far. First, it was a leadoff walk to Eric Santiago. Then a ball hit to the third baseman, Aaron Takis. Takis goes to second for 1. Doesn't get the guy at second, so in an attempt to turn a 5-4-3 double play, everyone's safe, so it's runners at first and second. That's followed up by a ground ball over to Ange Bourgeois, who bobbles it. All the runners advance another 90 feet. The base is now loaded with nobody out. Williams got 1 out on a fly out into foul territory, but then it was an RBI single there from Luke Torino, and the lead is cut here to 6-5 in favor of the Scouts. The batter is Trey Turner. We saw Trey Turner, the left fielder from Arizona State, come up big in a spot already this game. It was a 2 RBI double in the 3rd that gave the Hamilton Joes the lead then. First pitch. Williams finds the zone. A called strike one outside part of the plate. Turner came into the game batting a .154. 1 for 3 on the day. That one hit, the 2 RBI double. Other than that, a fly out to right and a strikeout swinging back in the first. The 0-1. And that one is hit up the middle, but that one's going to be caught by the second baseman, Ange Bourgeois, in the shallowest part of center field, maybe one step off the infield. And that's a big out number 2 for Landon Williams, and one more out needed here to get out of this inning with the Scouts still in the lead. It looks like Hamilton's manager out to have a word. It's going to possibly be what I assume to be a change in the lineup here, with James Wick due up. However, Wick, a guy who is appearing in his first game for the Hamilton Joes, and I'm going to quickly see if we can get a reference point here. And yeah, looks like a pinch hitter. It's going to be number 14, Ryan McClelland. McClelland, who hits from the left side from Miami, University of Ohio. The bases loaded here with 2 outs. A 6-5 Xenia Scouts lead here in the top of the 7th. First pitch from Landon Williams on the outside. Great job by Chris Ackerman to jump over and make sure that ball didn't go to the backstop. 1 ball, no strikes to count. McClellan just a $120 on the year, though. The 1-0 pitch. That one comes low and in quickly. The count 2 balls, no strikes here. The Scouts have committed 5 errors in this game, and almost all of them have come back to bite them. Landon Williams trying to minimize the damage here. The 2-0 pitch. Fouled straight back into the netting. The count moves 2 balls and a strike. McClelland, not much action at Miami of Ohio. The native of Cincinnati played in 7 games. 0 for 3 on the year, did draw a walk. Scored 2 runs in pinch running situations. Struck out twice. The 2-1 on the outside. The count moves 3-1. With the bases loaded here, a walk would bring home the tying run in this ball game. Landon Williams, who does not walk many. Only 6 walks so far this season. 3-1 pitch. Outside ball 4, and the tying run comes home. We are all tied up at 6 here, folks. Landon Williams allowing a couple of hits, couple of errors, and a couple of walks, and just like that, the man who was supposed to take the Scouts to the promised land here with a couple of innings of scoreless relief has allowed this game to tie up. And the Hamilton Joe is still with the bases loaded. First pitch, swing and a miss there from Riley Dent. Dent, a .256 hitter on the year, 1 double, 2 RBIs. He's 0 for 2 on the day, did draw a walk. The 8th batter of the inning here for the Hamilton Joes. We are all tied up at 6. The bases loaded with 2 outs. Nothing in 1 to count now. Lefty-righty matchup. The 0-1 is fouled hard. Out of play on the third base side. Landon Williams ahead in this count, 0-2. Dent from Valparaiso. The Division I program in the state of Indiana. In the first series, he was 4 for 8 with RBI against the Scouts. The 0-2 pitch misses just low. The count moves 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, but 2 away. The bases are juiced. Williams looks to the catcher, Ackerman. He sets and delivers. In there for a call, strike 3. He got him looking. Landon Williams sits down Riley Dent with the bases loaded, and this game is going to stay tied, but the Joes do some damage. 2 runs on a couple of hits, a couple of errors, and 3 men left aboard for Hamilton. We are in the middle of the 7th inning. It's stretch time here at Grady's Field in Xenia. The Scouts and the Hamilton Joes are all tied up at 6. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. And we go to the home half of the 7th inning, a tie ball game between the Scouts and the Hamilton Joes. Donald Ring to the plate and a new pitcher in for the Hamilton Joes. It's Nathan Kroger. And what do we have on Nathan Kroger, Gabe?
A lot of innings thus far. This is his 4th appearance, 12 2/3 innings pitched. He's given up 21 hits, 15 runs, 11 of them earned, 9 walks, struck out 10, a 7.81 ERA, 2.37 whip, and opponent's bat 356 against Kroger.
Well, Donald Ring to the plate, and he's quickly behind in this count, 0-2, swinging and missing twice already. Ring, 1 for 3 on the day, a 2 RBI double that got the Scouts back into this ball game. We are all tied up at 6 here. Ring bats from the left side against the righty Nathan Kroger. Kroger's going to step off here after a long pause on 0-2. Ring, Owens, Bourgeois due up here in the home half. 0-2 pitch, curveball way outside. The count moves 1-2.
And you hope the middle of your order here, if you're the Scouts, can bring across a couple runs, give you the lead back here as we're late in this game.
The 1-2 delivery. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Donald Ring goes down swinging. The first out for Nathan Kroger, a punch out. 1 away for the Scouts here in the home half of the 7th. Going to bring Caden Owens to the plate. Owens, 1 for 2 on the day. A single, an RBI single in the first, an infield single. A ground out in the 3rd. A sac fly in the 5th. So he has 2 RBIs on 1 hit so far today. First pitch to Caden Owens upstairs. Ball number 1. Three lefties, if you include Don Loring, are due up here against the right-handed pitcher. So you'd hope that the Scouts would be able to muster something up here against a guy with a whip over 2, like you said, Gabe. Owens awaits here. The pitch. That one misses on the outside.
And you said it perfectly. If you're the Scouts, you got the pitching change you wanted. A righty who throws strikes and has gotten hit a lot this year.
Caden Owens swinging a miss there. The count moves 1 ball and 2 strikes, says the scoreboard. Is that correct?
I think it is.
Okay, I forgot what happened on the first pitch. 1-2 here to Caden Owens. The pitch. Swing and a miss.
And you were right.
Nope,
it wasn't
yeah,
correct.
It's 2-2. That's what I thought. I was like, it's got to be incorrect. So 2 balls, 2 strikes down to Caden Owens. The 2-2 pitch. And there it is. Swing and a miss. Pitch on the outside. So 2 pitches or 2 batters faced here from Nathan Kroger. A couple of strikeouts to start things off. And the Scouts 2 up, 2 down here in the home half of the 7th. Going to bring Ange Bourgeois to the plate.
And I'm curious, we'll get to talk to Owens and Ring after the game, if they just weren't seeing the fastball, how they would have liked out of the hand of Kroger, because that fastball was coming in there nicely for 2 of the good hitters in this Scouts lineup, and they just missed it.
First pitch curveball to Ange Bourgeois, taken down the pipe, a called strike. Bourgeois, 1 for 2 on the day, an RBI single in the first. Hard hit ball down the third base line. His second time up, as he takes on the outside that time, evens up the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Bourgeois, so 1 for 2 on the day, also drew a walk in the 5th. Dylan Lottenville awaits on deck if Bourgeois can get on. And that one low and in. The count moves 2 balls and 1 strike. Umpire's going to come out to the mound and give a new baseball. Looks like some action brewing in the Xenia Scouts bullpen. None other than Caden Owens.
So Owens strikes out, and Bubba Cates is like, hey, before you go back out to right field, we might need you. Go warm up.
Landon Williams has faced 9 batters here. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Bourgeois awaits. The pitch. That one finds the inside part of the plate, a slider for a called strike. Evens the count 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes, but 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. A 6-6 game between the Scouts and the Hamilton Joes. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and that one is fouled up and over. The backstop hits the roof here at Grady Field. We're going to stay at 2-2.
A great job by Bourgeois to just fight that pitch off and stay alive. He was way out in front of the curveball. Let's see if he can get a pitch to hit now.
So 2-2 for Ange Bourgeois coming here again. Kroger delivers. And Bourgeois hits that one on the ground, in the gap. The first baseman covers, throws off the mark. Ange Bourgeois safe at first. He slides back in. Ange Bourgeois hits one in a weird spot between second and first. The first baseman covers, throws it back to Nathan Kroger. And that one going to be ruled as an error on the throw by the first baseman, Nate Crockett.
And that's a good call there, because Crockett fielded that ball cleanly, and just the throw was wide. Bourgeois took a wide turn from first base, and the catcher, James Wick, was there to back up the throw, and they almost got Bourgeois. You said Bourgeois dived back. Dove back, actually.
Yeah,
dove back safely. That is why, because he started the round for second on the wide throw. And Coach Ross Yoder at first telling him, get back, get back.
So Dylan Lottenville to the plate. A runner at first here with 2 away. A tie ball game in the bottom of the 7th. First pitch to Lottenville. That one, a fastball, comes on the inside, ball 1. The Scouts, The first two of them punch out in this inning, but Ange Bourgeois reaches on an error. And after the Hamilton Joes have made them pay time and time again for errors in the field, let's see if the Scouts can make them pay for this one. 1-0 pitch way inside. Dylan Lawtonville has to get out of the way. He's ahead in this count, 2 balls and no strikes.
Now let's see if Lawtonville can get a pitch to hit here.
Dylan 0 for 2 on the day with a couple of punch-outs. Also drew a walk back in the first. The runner Bourgeois goes. That one a grounder over towards short. The throw to first will be in time for out number 3. So the Scouts can't get a hit in the home half of the 7th. We have played 7 innings of baseball here at Grady's Field, and we're all tied up at 6. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. Back here in the top of the 8th inning, Alix, Gabe Genovesi, a tie ball game all locked up at 6 between the Hamilton Joes and the Xenia Scouts. Landon Williams back out to the mound. He's pitched an inning and a third thus far, and he will face the top of the order for the Hamilton Joes, starting off with Ryan Zeals. Zeals pops a bunt third base line, 1 hop. Aaron Takis throws over to first in time. Out number 1, Aaron Takis was not playing very in, but that bunt very far in the air off the bat, about 60 feet, I would say, before it drops right in front of Aaron Takis and throw over to first for out number 1.
And that's exactly what I was going to say. If Zeals is able to lay down that one softer and just roll it along the third baseline, that's a hit, because Takis was about a step or 2 behind the third base bag. Over.
So Santiago to the plate. That's Eric Santiago, the shortstop from the University of Cincinnati. He swings and misses at the first pitch from Landon Williams. 0-1 the count. Santiago 1 for 2 today. Has reached twice. Once on a hit by pitch, once on a walk. Scored both times. He reached on the hit by the pitch and the walk. And that one a hard ground ball. And that one's going to go just foul down the third base line. A ball that just tiptoed down the third base line and just going foul to the left of the bag. And for Landon Williams, all you can do is exhale. But he finds himself ahead in this count, 0-2. And for the slider-heavy Landon Williams, it's a position he likes to be in. The 0-2 pitch. That one's hit high in the air, shallow center field. Bourgeois going back. He's called off by the center fielder, Francisco Andina, who makes the grab. So 2 quick outs for Landon Williams here in the top of the 8th. And after all the struggles he saw last inning, probably a relieving for Landon Williams so far. But now with 2 away, it's going to bring Evan Bell to the plate. Bell, a single his last time up off of Landon Williams. First pitch. Swing and a miss. Slider on the outside. Williams ahead in the count, 0-1. Landon has 2 strikeouts already today. A strikeout to end the 6th inning and a strikeout to end the 7th inning. Williams delivers that one low and away, evens up the count of ball and strike.
And that time we heard the Xenia Scouts fans thinking that one was a strike at the knees. I don't necessarily disagree with them.
I'm on your side on this one, Gabe. A ball and a strike here with 2 away in the top of the 8th. Williams versus Evan Bell. Bell from the University of Memphis. He bats from the right side against the righty. And the 1-1 pitch comes on the inside ball too. So 2-1 now the count.
Good job by Bell moving out of the way there. I thought for sure that ball was going to hit him.
Well, good job for us that he got out of the way. But the 3-1 or the 2-1 pitch now misses low and away. 3-1. Bell. His father, Gordon Bell, played football at Michigan and for the New York Giants. 3-1 pitch, swing and a miss. It's full. 3 balls and 2 strikes now away. Landon Williams trying to retire the side in order. Williams looks to the catcher, Chris Ackerman. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch, and that one's hit in the air towards center. Andina chasing, and that one going to be a tweener. Ange Bourgeois tried diving for it, but he won't be able to get there. Laid out almost entirely to try to make the play, but Gabe, between you and me, I think that Andina probably had a better shot at that ball.
And I think he did. The question is, I think Bourgeois called that ball right before Andina was about to dive himself and call that ball. And by the time Bourgeois calls it and is in the air, Andina can't do anything about it, or else he would have ran straight in to Bourgeois, who's, as you mentioned, a full-out dive toward that ball. And now with 2 down, let's hope Landon Williams can just get this third out quickly.
So mark it down as a single. First pitch to Nigel Williams. Fastball inside part of the plate, a call strike 1. Williams has reached base 3 times today, but still finds himself at 1 for 4 after singling in the first, a fielder's choice in the third, reaching on an error in the 7th. He was stranded at third in the last inning. The 0-1. That one on the inside. The count moves, or the count evens up. 1 ball and 1 strike. Williams comes into the game. 282 hitter on the year. 1 double, 8 RBIs for the designated hitter from Lake Erie College. It's a Division II program. A rival of the Hillsdale Chargers. The 1-1 pitch. Just missing on the outside. Williams goes slider again there, does it look like?
Yes, a slider, and I thought that one just caught the outside corner, especially from Williams being a righty. That ball crossed over the plate, and he just didn't get the call. The home plate umpire has been fairly good tonight.
Yeah, no, I've had no complaints thus far for the most part. 2-1 now the count. The runner at first, Evan Bell, takes a decent-sized lead with 2 away, and Williams delivers right down the heart of the plate. A called strike 2, so 2 balls and 2 strikes here with 2 away. The runner at first is Evan Bell.
And a good pitch from Williams. That curveball looked like it was heading straight toward the front shoulder of Nigel Williams and broke about there. A good pitch.
Williams looks to Ackerman. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. We were all tied up at 6. Pickoff attempt over to first. Williams just trying to keep the runner at first, Bell, honest. Nigel Williams versus Landon Williams. Here's 2-2. And that one's hit sky high, a towering fly ball into very shallow right center. The second baseman, Ange Bourgeois, takes a couple steps back and makes the grab for out number 3. So a 0 put up on the board there for Landon Williams. No runs on 1 hit and 1 man left aboard for the Joes in the top of the 8th. We've reached the middle of the 8th inning. The Scouts and the Joes still tied up at 6. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network.
Just trying to work the outside part of the plate against the small Andina.
The 2-0 pitch to Francisco Andina here in the top or in the bottom of the 8th. And that one on the outside. The count moves 2 balls and 1 strike. It'll be Andina, Ben Beachy, and Ryan Park here. 6-6 the score. The pitch. And that one check swing. Did he go? They'll say yes, he did.
And Bubba Cates walks out of his third base box and just tells the home plate umpire he didn't go. He did not go around. So if you're calling that a strike on the swing.
And Bubba not pleased with the call. Francisco Andina awaits. Here it comes. And that one on the outside. The count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes here. Andina, 13 walks drawn this year. One of a lot of scouts who have shown off their ability to be disciplined at the plate and draw the walks. The 3-2 pitch, and that one is low in the dirt, and the scouts have the go-ahead run aboard in Francisco Andina.
Great job by Andina to lay off of that pitch low. Brings it up the top of the order, and we've seen this a couple times this year. Andina in the 9-hole, able to get on, and Ben Beachy in the top of the order have been able to bring him around before. A run here would bring it down to the 9th inning.
Andina with 8 runs scored so far this season, and like Gabe said, he has acted as kind of the de facto double leadoff man in that 9 spot. First pitch to Ben Beachy. That one, did they say he pulled back on that? Or?
Yes, I think he pulled back and it was low.
Okay, I couldn't tell if he just did the because Beachy's showing bunt, but I see he pulled back. A ball and no strikes to count here. Beachy's showing bunt. Bubba Cates clearly with small ball in mind, and the hot-hitting Ryan Park waiting on deck. Pickoff attempt. And, that one gets past the glove of the first baseman. Francisco Andina heads over to second base. A big spot on the pickoff attempt. An error on the throw there by the pitcher. And the scouts with the go-ahead run now in scoring position.
A huge error there. The 3rd error of the game for the Joes. Scouts have had their share of errors as well, but Ben Beachy now with a runner in scoring position, nobody down.
So Beachy ahead in the count, 1-0. Here's the pitch, and he shows bunt. Does not pull back that time. Fouls it seemingly under the legs of the catcher, James Wick, as opposed to John Wick. That is a movie. Evens up the count, a ball, a strike. Beachy on the day, 2 for 4. He singled in the 6th, doubled in the 1st. Actually, a ground rule double to lead off the game. Came around to score the first run of this ball game for the Scouts. For the Scouts, they went down 1-0 in the top of the 1st, responded with 3 runs of their own. The Joes put up 3 in the 3rd. The Scouts responded with 3 in the 5th. So it was 6-4 Scouts. The Joes then tied it up in the 7th with 2 runs. So we're all locked up at 6 here. Nobody out in the bottom of the 8th. Francisco Andina over at second. The leading RBI man on the Scouts, Ben Beachy at the plate. He shows bunt, pulls back, hits it down the right field line, and that's going to roll to the wall. Francisco Andina is rounding third and heading home. They will not even throw to the plate. Ben Beachy slides into second. An RBI double from Ben Beachy, and the Scouts take a 7-6 lead. And Ben Beachy continues to get it done, Gabe.
And I love the slap bunt, the fake bunt from Ben Beachy. And he slaps that one to right field. A great call by Bubba Cates if he's the one that put that fake bunt on. The infielders, the corner infielders, third and first, were halfway down the line for Beachy, and all it took was a poke out to right field, and the Scouts have a lead.
So 7-6 now in favor of the Scouts. Still nobody out for Ryan Park. Ryan Park, first pitch, takes fastball on the outside. Park is actually hitless on the day. He did draw 2 walks, but 0 for 2. Ended up reaching both times on errors, however. Has scored 2 runs himself. The .340 hitter coming into this contest.
So talk about Ryan Park. He's been on base all 4 times. He's been up.
Yeah, even without a hit, Ryan Park continues to find a way to get on base. The 1-0 pitch, that one fastball outside part of the plate, a called strike 1. Evens at the count, 1 ball and 1 strike here with nobody out. Ben Beachy at second, the Scouts with a 7-6 lead here in the bottom of the 8th. And 2 words for you, Gabe, when we talk about what's going to happen in the next inning. 2 words, Caden Owens.
Owens might be the closer.
Either that or Joey Roddy. Park awaits the 1-1 pitch, and that one fastball upstairs and on the outside. Park ahead in this count, 2-1. Ryan Park, the Sea Lion of Point Loma Nazarene, the native of Fullerton, California. 2-1. Swing and a miss there, and evens up the count 2-2. But when you talk about catchers from Fullerton, California, you got to mention him. Rest in peace, the kid, Gary Carter, a native of Fullerton. One of the great catchers of all time. That's 2-2 the count now. The pitcher's going to step off and look back Ben Beachy over to second.
Beachy getting a really far lead as Bubba Cates at third tells him, no one's there, keep going. Messing with the head of Nathan Kroger.
Pitch to Ryan Park on 2-2, just off the plate. A little bit of a change up there, and the count is full now. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Ryan Park.
Big at-bat here for Park. Still nobody down here in the bottom of the 8th. The Scouts would love to get one more insurance run.
3-2 the count. Here's the pitch, and that one is low in the dirt and on the inside. Ball number 4. Ryan Park has drawn his 3rd walk of this ball game, and the man who is amongst the league leaders in on-base percentage will surely continue to be up there, as it will even go higher up tomorrow. Remember, he had, in terms of getting on base, in the past, I believe since...
You said 14 for 21 at bats. He was on base. Forget if it was a hit, walk, and reach.
It was 14 for 21 plate appearances coming into this game. So now it's... I mean, you got to add 6. So it's
5. 19 for 26.
19 for 26. It's semi-automatic. It's basically automatic. So runners at first and second here, still with nobody out. Aaron Takis to the plate. Takis shows bunt, pulls back. Fastball finds the outside part of the plate. It called strike 1. Nothing on the count here. The Scouts with a 7-6 lead here in the bottom of the 8th, trying to add a couple more with nobody out and a couple on. Takis, he's over 3 on the day with 3 strikeouts. Takis had only struck out 6 times coming into this game. He attempts bunt there, but bunts it straight foul right back at Chris Ackerman in the batter's box. And he continues to struggle to lay down that bunt.
That's exactly what I was going to say. With nobody down here, it's not as big of a deal as it was the other night, but he was just laughing about it earlier. Like, I just can't seem to lay down a bunt right now.
So Takis behind in the count 0-2, and he takes on the outside, very close pitch, but a good eye there by Aaron Takis. That ball off the plate. The count moves the ball in 2 strikes.
And even a slow ground ball right now would advance the runners. You're just trying to get runners to second and third.
In there for a call, strike 3 on the 1-2. Aaron Takis goes down. A strikeout, the 4th of the night, now 1 away here in the home half of the game.
Yeah, Takis has struggled tonight a little bit. You mentioned 0 for 4 strikeouts. Did have that very important.
You can't take away from that, though.
Very important walk in the 5th when he was down in the count 0-2. He ended up scoring on Ring's 2 RBI double. Without that walk, that inning never happens.
So even on kind of a rough night, Aaron Takis still with a big contribution. Now Chris Ackerman to the plate, first pitch, low and away. Ackerman on the day, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. He has scored 2 runs, so 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, but still picking up his 16th and 17th walk of the season, all in key spots. A ball and no strikes to count here. And that one hit into right field and rolling. The right fielder not able to handle it. Ben Beachy rounds third, comes home. Ackerman's going to second. Ryan Park will hold at third. An RBI single from Chris Ackerman, and the Scouts move their lead now to 8-6.
A huge piece of hitting for Chris Ackerman. He gets his pitch on the outside part of the plate, and just like Ben Beachy did, sends a line drive to right field. On the bobble from the right fielder, Evan Bell, not only does Park move to third, Ackerman's able to move to second and run scores.
So now it's runners at second and third with 1 out for Donald Ring. 8-6 the score in favor of the Xenia Scouts. Ring 1 for 4 on the day, a 2 RBI double, however. Back in the 6th. First pitch to Ring. Missing on the outside, a curveball, 1 ball and no strikes here to Donald Ring. Ring yesterday, his first home run of the year, a 4 for 4 day that jumped his batting average about 130 points. Lefty-righty matchup, and Ring hits that one sky-high foul territory. The catcher's going back, but he will be unable to make a play as it goes into the netting, and the catcher looks like he took a shot to the gut there as he walked into the fencing.
I was a little confused. He was looking right at it. He saw it, and then he took one more glimpse up at the ball and just kept running.
But does the moment the ball touches the netting, I think
it's done.
Toast, yeah. So he probably could have well known that, but all it is a strike. We're talking a lot about it. 1 ball and 1 strike with 1 out here. Park at third, Ackerman at second. Donald Ring has been swinging the hot bat of late. He awaits. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Curveball upstairs and outside, ball 2. Count moves 2-1. Donald Ring at the plate. Caden Owens awaits on deck. And Caden, in what seems to be almost certain, will be out to close the 9th after warming up in the bullpen for the past couple of minutes. Swing and a miss there from Ring, low and away. Swung at ball 3 there.
And he knows it too, kind of flips the bat up to himself, shakes his head angrily.
So the count evens up 2 balls and 2 strikes. Anything deep in the outfield should be enough for a sacrifice fly, and Donald Ring, a guy with a lot of pop. Time called there. The catcher going to come out and have a word with the pitcher, Nathan Coker.
And that's, as you mentioned, my goal if I'm Donald Ring. Put a ball deep in the air. Get a piece of one. Doesn't have to be even in a gap. Any ball deep in the outfield scores a run.
2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 guys in scoring position for Donald Ring. He awaits the 2-2 pitch. And he hits that one high in the air and deep to right field, but will it be deep enough? Not quite, folks. That one is caught by the right fielder, Bell, at the warning track. A sacrifice fly, however. The runner, Ryan Park, comes home from third. A sac fly from Donald Ring, his 4th RBI of the evening. And the Scouts extend their lead to 9-6. And just like you said, Gabe, I was looking for the 3-run shot there. I'm not going to lie. As he got that ball high and deep, but the fly ball was all he needed. Ackerman advances over to third, and now Caden Owens here with a runner at third and 2 outs, a chance to possibly tack on one more insurance run for the Xenia Scouts.
And Ring's been the big hitter the past couple games for the Scouts. That sac fly, the 2 RBI double earlier in this game, and Donald Ring yesterday an RBI single as well, and the home run. Don't forget the solo shot.
Well, I'll take some credit because I have been his chauffeur for the last 2 days. I'm telling you, his car broke down. I live the closest to him because Landon has to work in the mornings, and he keeps calling me, asking for rides. I say, you keep hitting, I'll keep driving you wherever. First pitch to Caden Owens outside, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch, fastball upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes.
And just to make it clear, that's 6 RBIs the past 2 days for Ring. He had 0 coming into yesterday.
Well, and only 20 at bats. Remember, he has been on the shelf a little bit with a forearm soreness, kind of tightness injury. 2-0 to Caden Owens, low and in. 3 balls and no strikes to Caden Owens. And I do not think that Bubba Kinkins will be giving him the green light here, as the pitcher Nathan Kroger has not gotten anything even close here. First 3 pitches of this at-bat. The get me across does just that. Fastball outside part of the plate. The count moves 3-1 to Caden Owens. Owens on the day, 1 for 3. An RBI single in the first. Picked up another RBI on the sac fly back in the 5th. This is Owens' first game back since hurting his hand a couple of days ago. 3-1 pitch. And swing and a miss there. Strike number 2.
Owens came through with the sac fly in the 5th inning. That was his second RBI of the year. Unfortunately, with 2 outs, a fly out would not do it here, but looking for a base hit to extend this lead.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The runner at third is Chris Ackerman. The batter, Caden Owens. He bats from the left side against the righty Nathan Kroger. Kroger looks to the catcher, sets and delivers. Swing and a miss, strike number 3. Caden Owens goes down swinging, and that is going to do it for the Scouts here in the home half of the 8th, but they do what they need to do. 3 runs for the Scouts. They break the tie and add a couple more on top of it. 9-6 the score in favor of the Scouts. We'll be right back. It's going to be, we'll see, it's probably going to be Caden Owens, unless they let Landon go out for another one. We'll be right back, and we'll give you all the information when it comes to us. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. The top of the ninth inning here at Grady's Field. The Scouts lead 9-6, and it'll be Caden Owens in to close it out for the Scouts. And Caden Owens, impressive to say the least so far. What do you got on him, Gabe?
8 1/3 innings pitched. He's given up 3 hits, make it 4.
His first pitch is hit hard into left field. That one is going to drop for a base hit. So Caden Owens now his 4th hit given up of the year.
So only his 4th hit given up. He hasn't given up a run. No runs, no earned runs. 4 walks, 12 strikeouts for Caden Owens. He's 1-0 with a save in his 4 appearances. Batting average against of 111 and his whip 0.84.
So Luke Torino to the plate. Torino is 1 for 3, and he hits that one over towards short. Beachy goes to second for 1. The third for 2. Not in time. The throw from the second baseman, Bourgeois, not enough to beat Luke Torino at first, but mark it down as a fielder's choice, and the Scouts are 2 outs away.
And that's the important thing. Get the lead runner. Now you're 2 outs away with a 3-run lead and only 1 runner on.
So Trey Turner to the plate. Turner is 1 for 4. He's only hit a 2 RBI double back in the third. First pitch, curveball from Caden Owens, and that's the curveball that we're looking for from him. Finds the zone. A called strike 1. Owens, the native of Jinx, Oklahoma, plays his college ball at Division I Oral Roberts in Tulsa. And curveball, big air. And this cannot get 1 away.
And it's working again for him. That's his go-to pitch here the past few games. And he's ahead in the count 0-2.
Caden Owens ahead 0-2. Looks to the new catcher, Ryan Park. The 0-2 pitch, fastball, upstairs and on the outside. The count moves 1-2. And to walk you guys through the defensive substitutions, Ryan Park is now catching. Chris Ackerman's playing first. Dylan Lottenville moves to right. Jordan Lambert enters the game defensively. He's playing left field. Donald Ring's night is over. The 1-2 pitch, curveball hit over towards Aaron Tackett at third. He's going to let it go to Ben Beachy. Beachy's throw to first is not going to be in time to beat out Trey Turner. Trey Turner was the guy who, if you were listening to the broadcast a couple nights ago, he runs a 4.3.
According to the internet, he runs a 4.3840.
4.3840. So the ball rolls past Aaron Tackett. Beachy gets it deep in the 6th hole, and the throw not in time to beat it out. So the tying run now to the plate. Runners at first and second here. With 1 out, the batter is going to be Ryan McClellan, unless it's a different pinch hitter. And that pitch, first pitch, breaking ball, good block by Ryan Park.
And Park, a great job to get in front of that one. He just got his left shoulder up there to block that pitch. It bounced kind of off to the side, but stayed in front. No runners advance.
A ball and no strikes here. The pitch. Fastball, hard to the plate, called strike. He was at the count of ball and strike with 1 away.
And that was the unfortunate thing about that ground ball on that last at bat. It was just so slow, but not enough towards Hackett. It rolled all the way to Beachy in the deep hole, and it caused the infield single. Caden Owens has got 2 ground balls.
The 1-1. And that one is hit in the air towards center field, and that one's going to drop in front of Francisco Andina. All the runners will hold after advancing 90 feet, and now the tying run is at first. And the go-ahead run at the plate in Riley Dent.
And again, Owens makes a good pitch, hits the ball's just finding holes right now for the Joes. Still up by 3, no runs have scored, and you have 1 out here. You've got to play at every base. It's not time to panic quite yet. If you're the Scouts, get an out. You don't care if a run scores.
And a guy in Riley Dent coming to the plate who is hitless on the day. And never mind, they will pinch hit for Riley Dent.
Him being hitless is probably why.
Probably plays into that a tad. It's Genesis Hillard. Genesis Hillard, a guy who from Ohio Dominican University. First pitch to him. That one on the outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Hillard on the year, 241, 1 double, 4 RBIs. A ball and no strikes here. The bases loaded with 1 out. And that one hits him on the knee. And a run will come home. And the tying run advances over to second base here with 1 away.
And now is where you have to take a deep breath if you're all of these scouts, especially Caden Owens on the mound, because now things get serious.
Bubba Cate's going to come out and have a word.
Owens, his past couple curveballs running in to righties, and that one just came a little too far in.
The Scouts, a 2-run lead here. Runners at first, second, and third. The bases are juiced here with 1 away. Corey Coob's going to go out and talk to the field umpire here. Maybe get a sense of the zone. In a very tense situation, you could drop a pin here at Grady's Field in Xenia.
If you're Owens, obviously, the best case scenario is the strikeout. Anything in play, though, something, a ground ball up the middle, a deep fly ball would score a run, but it would get you the second out of the inning you're looking for. So the 3-run 8th inning for the Scouts now becoming extremely important, not to just get 1, but get those insurance run and give Caden Owens some breathing room here.
And that's exactly right. So now it's back to the top of the order, and this top hitter in this lineup in Ryan Zeals. Zeals, a .341 hitter on the year, 4 doubles, 8 RBIs. He is hitless on the day. However, first pitch swung on and missed, a called strike. 0-1. Zeals hits from the right side against the southpaw Caden Owens. The pitch, and that one fouled straight back, and Owens finds himself in a good position here ahead in the count 0-2.
Zeals was on that fastball, was just a little under it, fouled it off behind the plate. I'm curious to see what pitching coach Corey Coobs now calls an 0-2 with Owens' curveball, not how it's been.
The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. And that is out number 2, strikeout number 1 of the game. And Caden Owens 1 out away from putting this one in the books. But now with 2 outs, anything in the gap could tie this game up. If not, give the lead here.
And Owens went back to that curveball on that 0-2 pitch. And once again, it was inside, but he got Zeals to go around.
Santiago to the plate, first pitch attacked, fouled straight back. A good swing there by Eric Santiago, but missing just a little bit. No one's ahead in this count, 0-1 with 2 outs.
Yeah, these top hitters in this Joe's lineup jumping on this fastball for Owens.
The base is loaded. 0-1, swing and a miss. Curveball on the inside yet again. And Caden Owens is 1 strike away from putting this one in the books. No balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. The bases are loaded here. The Scouts 1 out away. Owens the 0-2 pitch and curveball. Good job by Park. As that one bouncing in the dirt, but he gets in front of it. The count moves 1-2.
And once again, that curveball bounces right at the batter's box against these righties. He's gotten a couple of them to go around, including Santiago on the pitch before that one. Let's see if he comes back with maybe a high fastball.
1-2 with 2 away. The pitch way upstairs. And Ryan Park gets up and catches that one, saves a run. The count evens at 2-2.
And there's that high fastball, but it was too far out of the zone. You weren't going to get Santiago to chase on that one.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Caden Owens, the pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. That's all she wrote here tonight. Caden Owens strikes out the final 2 outs of this game. And the Scouts win this one by a score of 9-7. And Gabe, when we think about this one in retrospect, all I can say is certainly a group effort.
Oh, you said it. You hit it on the nail. And the Scouts got 7 hits tonight, were helped out by 4 errors of the Joes. But 3 runs in the first, 3 runs in the 5th, 3 runs in the 8th, 3 spots, and that's really all they needed tonight, fortunately, for the Xenia Scouts. They came away with the win despite the 5 errors in the field. If they want to come out and get a win tomorrow, they're going to have to sharpen up defensively.
And that's exactly right, Gabe. For the Scouts, it's 9 runs on 7 hits. They made 5 errors in the field. For Hamilton, it's 7 runs on 8 hits. They made 4 errors in the field as well. Highlights from the game, you got to talk about Donald Ring. Donald Ring, just 1 for 4, but he drives in 4 RBIs. 4 RBIs for Donald Ring. So that number that was at 0 yesterday, that now stands at 6. Caden Owens, 1 hit but 2 RBIs, and then gets himself a save in the 9th with a couple of strikeouts. And even though trouble was a brewing there for Caden Owens, he never doubted the ability of that curveball, the ability to tie people up inside, and ultimately helps the Scouts lock up that 8th win of the season. The Scouts move to 8-9 on the season. They continue to teeter between 1 game under 500 and 2 games under 500. They will have a chance to get back to 500 tomorrow night back here at Grady's Field against the Hamilton Joes. And the probable pitcher for that game, I believe to be Michael Pineda.
To be honest, I don't know.
That might not be right anymore. You guys got to realize, you folks at home, this pitching rotation thing changes like every day. So I will try to update the probable pitcher on Point Streak. I guess that's the best we can do. And we'll tweet and we'll Facebook it. We'll try to give you guys some kind of clue as to who will be taking the hill tomorrow night for your Xenia Scouts. Otherwise, you got to talk about, I can't believe I didn't even mention this earlier, Ben Beachy. Ben Beachy, 2 for 3 on the day, 2 doubles, scores 2 runs, the RBI that gives the Scouts the lead in the home half of the 8th. Great job by Beach coming off of a game where he was pulled, or he pulls himself in the 2nd inning because of soreness in the knee. Yeah. So great job there by Beach. Ryan Park. Talk about Ryan Park, who's getting it done in all kinds of ways. Draws 3 walks, reaches 5 times, and continues to just get on base for this Xenia Scouts ball club. You cannot overstate, I would say, the contribution for Ryan Park. And Chris Ackerman, 2 walks, an RBI single to add on to that Scouts lead. And I'm just going to keep going. Ange Bourgeois, like an RBI single. Just numbers. These guys put up numbers tonight. The offense did not go quiet. The pitching shores up tonight, and the only downside we see for the Xenia Scouts team, the errors in the field.
The errors, and that's really, most of the time, 5 errors is going to cost you a ball game. And the offense was able to produce tonight. Only 7 hits, but the key is they put balls in play. You had 2 sac flies. Those don't count as hits. Those are very productive. All the walks that you mentioned, and the Joes helped us out a little bit with some errors.
And that's exactly right, Gabe. So we are going to step off because it could not be hotter in the beautiful press box here at Grady's Field in the bicycle capital of the Midwest, Xenia, Ohio. So I am Andrew Alix. He is Gabe Genovesi. Your Scouts win by a score of 9-7. We hope to have you back here with us tonight as the Scouts will take on these very same Hamilton Joes, the defending champions of the Great Lakes League. That game will start at 7:05 Eastern Standard Time. We hope to have you with us here at the game or back on the broadcast. So for us and the entire Xenia Scouts family, we thank you for joining us. Wish you a pleasant evening, and God bless.